What's going on? How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Feel a lot better now. I feel very relieved, to be honest with you. It was one of those like existential poops where you're like, wow, this is incredible. So, I'm probably gonna be a little inappropriate to talk about too much. But yeah, what's up? How are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm tired. I really don't want to go to work.
That sucks. What do you do for work? You don't have to be
I
specific.
run.
You don't have to be specific.
I do. It's just fast food. Oh, a root beer stand,
Oh,
like an
okay.
A&W.
A root beer stand. Do they sell food there? Or is it just root beer?
They sell food, but it's like just hot dogs and hot dogs.
Okay. Well, that sounds cool though. I like hot dogs. I haven't had like a good hot dog in a while. Most of the time when you get fucking hot dogs like Nathan's are so expensive too. It's crazy. Okay. All right, all right, all right.
I mean, I'm only getting nine an hour, but it's something.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, man. It's better than nothing. I'm sure something else will pop up. You go to school for anything?
Yeah, I'm still in high school.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, so you'll be good. It's teach you some work ethic, and then you'll be able to translate that outside when you get a real job. Well, not a real job. You're working a real job, but when you get like a going into the world, you know what I mean? You're definitely working a
Yeah.
real job. I didn't mean like that, but you know what I mean. So that's good. That's good. Okay. All right. You have any questions you want to ask or anything?
No, I just joined and it put me up on stage. I think it's because I'm mod.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it is too. What you it wasn't expecting. He scared me a little bit. He scared me.
Yeah, my fault.
It's all right. I'm just fucking around. All right. I'll pull the next person in. You could chill in here when other people are in here if you want, but I'm going to pull the next person in here.
All right.
All righty. Let's see. What's up?
Wow. Is this the Papa Gut?
It is the Papa God, the one and
Wow.
only. I know. So
Uh,
exciting, right?
I'm super humbled to be speaking with you, Mr. Papa Gut. I've been a long time subscriber for about
Wow.
a year and a half now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you subscribing, and I appreciate that you feel humbled.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I've sent a couple videos into you that you've reacted to, like the Spider-Man one, and
Spider-Man. Which one is
some
this? Which one is the
the
Spider-Man one?
Spider-Man one where the he was flinging across the sky. It was the animatronic one, and he hit he hit a
Oh, I
roof.
thought it was a guy and he actually died. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that
no, me
one.
too.
That was
So,
fucked up.
um, yeah, I just wanted to ask, you're like such a wise person in terms
Okay.
of where you are now versus where you were 10 years ago. What's something that like you would have wish you would have known, like say 10 years ago that you implement now, like in your life and stuff.
Just like generally speaking,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't really know what would I have implemented differently. I guess I don't really
Yeah.
know. I guess like I honestly I really have no fucking clue. If I had to like go back and tell myself something, I would probably tell myself to like stay in the fucking gym or something and like keep doing that
Uh,
if I had to.
yeah.
Outside of that, like I got nothing to really like say too much. I mean, I don't know. I got lucky with my career path, so I can't even give myself advice on how to like fucking emulate that in any capacity, you know? Because like I haven't like done anything. I just got like really lucky on social media, so
Right.
I have like no good advice, just generally to myself.
Hmm.
So yeah, sorry for the disappointing
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
No, 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 not at all, not at all. I just got to. I'm really glad to be able to participate in this sub Saturday, and I thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem, brother. I appreciate the question.
Of course, all love.
Very yes, very much. All love. All right. Damn. You stumped me on the first question, guys. You can't do that to me. You can't be fucking doing that to me.
Hey,
What's up?
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. Hello?
Wait, excuse me for a second. I think my phone is doing some funky shit. I'll exit the call and be right back, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I guess I can't even hear what I'm saying, so it really matter if I say sounds good.
I
Oh.
can still hear you.
No, I mean, I don't think she can hear me. That's what I was saying.
All right.
But yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna die.
Tengy just subscribed.
I guess I'll give her like a minute or something. Almost died there. Hey, thanks for the sub, brother. Damn, get fucking slapped. I guess I'll pull the next person up. Let's do it like that. Oh, there. Yeah, we'll just pull the next person up. Hello.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I just came back from an interview. How are you?
Very cool. I'm okay. What? It was like a job interview.
Yeah, it was only like 10 minutes. I was like, damn, I had to go on the bus just for 10 minutes.
Oh, you had to go in person and do like a 10-minute job review. Yeah.
Yeah,
That do be how it is sometime.
I
Hopefully
know.
it
It
went
takes
well.
so much effort. Thank you. So, I found you at a really interesting time in my life where I was over politics, but I didn't know where I stood, and I had such a hard time labeling myself. You know, everyone's always so intent on labels.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think people are so scared of this idea of being like neutral or central or whatever it is?
Like I mean, I imagine like that's more of like an online thing where people are afraid in some capacity of being neutral. I think it's because people are so polarized nowadays. If you're somebody that sits more in the middle on a topic, which is most people, I feel like for the most part, or just are generally in the middle. I mean, people have like left leaning opinions and right leaning opinions, but overall, like they'll have some left, some right, and they'll sit in the middle. But you'll be shamed, at least online, for being some kind of like a dirty centrist, especially by lefties. They'll usually say that, and they'll just say that you're conservative, and I think that kind of just pushes you to be more conservative because they're being dickheads to you. That's really all it comes from. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where I think people need to stop caring about what other people say online because people online are fucking stupid.
When I was, I want to say when I was 18 and I asked what party I wanted to be a part of, I said I wanted to be like unlabeled or unregistered or whatever it was.
Yeah, I
And
registered as independent. Yeah.
And I remember telling my online friends, because I'm a loser who spends all day online, and they were like, if you're a centrist, you're a Nazi. And I was like, wow, I didn't say that I was one, but okay.
Yeah, no,
It was
that's the usual. That's a pretty, I feel like, somewhat common response. People are so like toxic online. I think people feel really good saying that too. Like, it makes them feel like good about themselves to tell other people that they're bad people. It really is
I
like a
think
big
they're
virtue
doing some
signal.
sort of like justice by saying that.
Yeah.
When all they do is sit online like I do, and they're not really doing anything, you know?
Yeah. Well, they might watch Hassan, so if they're doing that, then they're changing the world.
Oh, right, true. I used to watch Hassan before I started watching you. It's really funny.
Wow, the Hassan to Papa Gut pipeline. That's a story there.
I thought he was so smart, and then I saw you one day, and I was like, wow, I've been watching like a baby this entire fucking time.
I don't know if I'm much smarter. I think I'm just more honest than Hassan.
Yeah, definitely. But, that's all I really wanted to ask, and, hello from the furry community, by the way.
Very cool. Is that real or are you trolling? I mean, that's cool either way.
I swear to God, I'm a furry, I swear to God.
All right, just make sure you stay away from like baby furs, okay? That's all.
Oh God, no.
Stay away from them. That's
Far away. I hope you have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Baby furs. That's just fucking nuts, bro. That shit's nuts.
Did they say they were a furry?
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong being a furry.
No. I just wanted to make sure I heard that properly.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was trolling at first because people like the meme on furries. Hey, it's whatever, dude. It's as long as it's
do
not
whatever
like,
you want.
As long as it's not like
weird.
fucking weird, bro. Like that pedophile shit that I was watching. I watched that like video about like furry. That shit was nasty. I don't understand that. All right, let me pull the next person in here. Hello?
Hello.
Oh shit, you're low.
I'm low.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you up to 200%. All right, so don't scream.
Okay, is it better?
No. Well, it is better for me now that I turned it up, but overall, still pretty. It's overall still pretty low. If you can turn it up more, if not, it is what it is. Like, don't stress about it.
I don't really think so.
Okay.
Honestly.
So what's going on? How are you doing? What's up? What do you got for me today?
I just sent a lot of videos into you. I think I have like 20, 25 videos you've reviewed on
Oh
your
my
channel.
god! Holy fuck! I just looked just now. You sent 25 fucking videos. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think so.
Where'd they
So
go?
it's just like no, not in the queue, but like on your channel right now up, you've reacted to like 25 videos I've sent in.
Okay. Wait, did you say? Are you see? Wait. What the fuck?
From Twitch, I suggest videos on Twitch, and you've
Yeah,
reacted.
it's weird though because I'm not getting any of them.
No, like they're up on your YouTube right now. I haven't sent in any.
Okay,
like,
okay. I see. No, because it's what's so funny that is you said that, and then I looked at my request thing, and it's saying that I have 25 requests, and that's and I was like, oh shit, you sent 25, but then when I look at it, I have zero. I had one, so it's like
Yeah.
bugged. So it was just like a weird coincidence. Okay.
No,
Hey, good shit. Well, I appreciate you sending me the content then.
Want to know if it's anything in particular, any topics you're interested in that I should look up for you and find some good stuff.
Well, I appreciate that because I mean, obviously, that's a lot of my content is almost all of my content is just watching other people's shit. So, but whatever.
But are you looking for something? Like, should I try to find shit for
No,
you?
you don't have to try to find anything. If you find something, you can send it to me. So you don't have to like go out of your way to look for stuff. Don't worry about that.
Okay, man. That's all, I guess.
Okay.
Have a good,
You
have
too.
a good day.
You too. Take care. All right. Oh shit. My back. It's still early yet. There's not a whole lot of people. I might have to go back to watching some fucking videos.
Yeah, no, it's only 11:30 right now, at least for me.
Yeah, I fucking came on early. Hello? Can you hear
me, bro?
I can hear you. Okay. Can you hear me?
I switched from my phone to my computer. My phone was doing some funky stuff.
Okay.
Excuse the way I sound. I have a horrible cold.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have known that. I mean, maybe you just had like I would have assumed you just had a nasally voice.
No, I usually sound like a 9-year-old boy who got kicked in the balls.
Well, that's good. That's usually that's good for like a voice acting career. I think all the 9-year-old boys are played by girls. So
maybe I should consider that.
there you go.
But yeah, I don't know how long I've watched you, but like for a while. And I'm not American. I come from like a very small European country. And I wanted, so American like politics is like wild to me because for us, like the most decisive issue in politics is like, should we allow gay marriage and also like ban all Russians, because we live right next to Russia. So the whole Ukrainian situation is incredibly scary. We also like, we were like in the Soviet Union and we pulled down a Soviet Union monument. It was like a big deal. Anyways, sorry I'm rambling a little
No,
bit.
you're
I
fine.
haven't
Don't worry
taken my
about it.
meds in a while. I wanted to ask you, like, why do you think that American politics are so polarized? Because for us, if you told you were a socialist, you would get like laughed out of the room.
I don't know 100%. I'm not sure if it has something to do with like media control in some other areas. I think the media definitely has like a massive impact on some of this shit. We have very sensationalized media and people are talking about it in that capacity. Outside of that, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're kind of fucking bored. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with media influence and getting people to be like super, people are incredibly skeptical. I think there's a rise of like independent media companies, which makes sense. And people kind of like latch onto those, but those aren't as vetted nearly as much. Like some bullshit independent media company is not going to be nearly as credible as something like CNN, for instance, even if CNN has like a problem. So I think that there's, I think it has a lot to do with the way that media kind of like gets people to get all fucking riled up. And obviously there's a lot of money in politics, at least in America. I'm not super educated on other areas. So people have particular interests and they'll try to push those interests, in a way that seems like they actually give a shit about like the American people when they really don't. Like if they have some kind of interest in oil or maintaining like oil supremacy in some capacity, they'll talk about how like global warming or something is like a conspiracy and about how like nothing really matters and all this other shit. Even if they don't actually give a shit because they're more financially focused. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, because for us, politics, I mean, it is like it's corrupt as fuck, of course, because politics, but it's way less of a public show, I would say. Like, people here don't really care. A lot of us, like, at least my friends who are like more liberal, we're pretty much like single issue voters. We vote for like progressives because gay marriage and like that's about it.
Mhm.
And like the next thing that I guess this isn't really a question, but I'm a history major, and like especially when like the manosphere is involved, they love to bring up like all of this like historical like lifestyle and masculinity,
Yeah.
men could cheat and everything, you know?
That's all they talk about. It's actually fucking crazy. They will constantly pivot
Ye-
to like history and all this other bullshit, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that they're like legit wrong in a lot of cases.
Like about what specifically? Because a lot of times I hear them, they're just like, "Well, historically, men have done this, women have done this," and like they'll get usually like their whole point is that like men have been more domineering historically, so then somehow that should be the status quo. Are there any specifics that you're referencing?
Well, I would say that like um so I'm trying to think of like a specific example.
Mm-hmm.
I think one that comes to mind is like that men would like bring in all the money and all of that, which is in like a lot of scenarios not really that true, especially if you're like of course if you're talking about like kings and stuff, that might have been true,
Mm-hmm.
but in lower class like farmhouses and stuff like that, often women did like a lot of physical work as well, especially like tending to the animals and everything like that.
Yeah, that's true. That actually makes a lot of sense, and that was their job at the time. So like they're technically, yeah, they're definitely working. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely true.
And also about like that men would like sleep with a lot of women and cheat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's also not true unless you're like a legitimate king, you know, like a royal. And then of course that's like a lot of like different rules and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, looking back at different like documents and like how regular people lived, you would get ostracized if you had a child with another woman, and you would be like, you would have to support that kid, you would have to like take them in, especially if something happened to the mother. Like they love to like paint this picture like that women were like subservient and they had no rights, but that's not like actually true.
Yeah, well, I think that like
And
back then too, like people in general didn't have a whole lot of rights. You know, if you have to do like a whole farmland work thing where there's rich people benefiting, like people in general struggle with rights. I think I understand what you're saying. I think that generally speaking, historically, like men have tend to have more rights than women, and for some reason, that's like a talking point as to how we should regress back to that moment. I don't really understand why. They think it's a positive talking point, but they'll usually just kind of like latch on to shit. Like for instance, like when you were talking about with like kings and everything, they'll always latch on and talk about how like men bring value. That's why like men would bring value to a queen because you need whatnot. But women, like marriages back then, were just an exchange of usually goods for like rich people. So like the woman and the man would bring their value of like whatever their family was in some capacity, but they obviously don't give a fuck about like any of that type of accuracy or anything. They're really just more interested in
yeah,
saying
of
that men
course,
are
like
better, like just by virtue of being men.
Yeah, because marriages were like mostly just political unions. Like a king would have a daughter. For example, like the King of England would have a daughter and she married like the Scottish king because like historically they had a lot of disagreements, and like by virtue of marriage they would like be united.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I've like my last research paper that I wrote, I mostly work with like my country's press in the like 19th century, like 20s, 30s, no, 20th century. Sorry, years are confusing in English. And
No
I wrote
worries.
a history on like how masculinity was viewed in like the 20s and 30s in the press. And I did a lot of research and like how our idea of masculinity in general developed.
Mm-hmm.
And the conclusion that like a lot of the research that I did and a lot of the books that I read about it came to was basically that the traditional idea of masculinity actually only developed in the 16th century,
Mm-hmm.
with like when the all global exploring was being done, when we like went to America and like discovered America. And only because like then the idea of this like strong male warrior who like is a conquistadors came to. And before that, when like people were living on farms, mostly like doing farm work and everything, it wasn't really like that, because a lot of the times like what they did was pretty much equal.
Yeah,
It
well,
was hard work.
yeah,
you know?
I wonder. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I don't know too much about like history, but I'm sure. So what society did they develop in? Like when did like the Vikings exist? Right? Because I know that they had a pretty traditional idea of masculinity. I would imagine, considering rape was acceptable, unless it was more of like a slave thing.
Historically, they existed like up until like 13th century, like when like the Christianity wars happened, the Crusades and everything. When that came to, then pretty much Vikings, like, I'm not that big into Scandinavian history, but from what I know of, like from our country's history, because like we both live in like the Baltic Sea region. Like Scandinavia is like up there, and we're a little bit down there. I'm from like a Baltic country, and our country's people like actually had like fights with the Vikings and everything. Vikings were scared of our like warriors. One of the warrior like people that lived in our territory. But all of that was like pretty much eradicated during like the 13th century Christianity crusades.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah.
And something that I also find interesting that is the fact that like we always, like especially in the media, like in the media generally is like very American focused, and
Yes,
obviously
that's true.
like it's very weird. I know like a lot more about American politics than I know about like my own country's politics.
Really? Yeah, I know that like more countries around the world probably like talk a little bit more about America than like the reverse. Yeah, like it's bizarre.
Yeah, like generally the two politics that we talk about is like America and Russia.
That makes sense. Yeah,
because like Russia is like a legitimate threat to us.
Yeah.
Living next to them is not comforting.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that like some conservatives are in America at least are like up the ass of like Russia. They fucking think Russia's incredible. It's really fucking bizarre. They talk about how like the decline of Western society, about how we're not strong enough anymore, et cetera, et cetera. You know, we look weak, all this other nonsense, and all this other bullshit.
To me, I find that like fascinatingly stupid, because Russia has been like one of the most uneducated countries like in the whole world, like forever. For example, like when all of the society started like starting how to learn to read, like up like in the Enlightenment era in like the 16th century, right? And basically literacy rates really like jumped during the 19th century. For example, in like my country, the literacy rates were like 90%, which is like a lot for that time. And in Russia, it was like 20%.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
yeah, no, it's just it really is because people fall for like the Russian misinformation campaigns. Like this is so weird, but like it's like literally if you've ever been on like a conservative Instagram, like American conservative Instagram, there are like an atrocious amount of memes about how cool Vladimir Putin is. They'll have like photoshops of him on like a bear shirt, he's like shirtless on a bear holding like guns and stuff, and they're like, this is a real man. Like that's the only thing that matters to a lot of people. And they think that that's cool. They don't really care about like the human rights violations, and especially since now there's more and more conversation about trans people in the public eye, it makes them like Russia more. It's like, well, Russia doesn't put up with this kind of stuff, and Russia just fundamentally doesn't have human rights nearly in the same way that we do in America. But that doesn't really matter to them. It's more about like, you know, dunking on fucking progressives and like liberals and how cool, look at how much of a man Vladimir Putin is, even though he hasn't actually like run a fair election ever. So.
Human rights, and like not even talking about like the LGBTQ community, because like LGBTQ rights like in all countries that are like were in the Soviet Union are just like done for, like they're non-existent. But like generally domestic violence is like basically legal in Russia.
Really?
It's very, very hard to be arrested for it. So basically what happens if a woman comes forward that she's being abused, they will like call her husband in, like in the police, and they will have a talk with him, and they will like maybe force them to like go to counseling, but also doesn't actually count as domestic violence unless there are like severe physical consequences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. I feel like America was at like a certain point like that, like 50 years ago or so. And then even if something happens, then they're just like, well, you know, they cast a lot of doubt on it. And a lot of times they'll put like the blame on like the woman in some capacity. I know that happens a lot, like with sexual assault. It's happening less every day, but it happens like a lot with sexual assault and whatnot in America.
Yeah, I mean, in like, I, as a kid, I remember like I idolized American. This is an experience that like a lot of my friends have had. Like we as kids, we would like watch YouTube videos and like idolize this like fantastic world. And now that I've grown up, I see a lot of faults, especially in you guys' healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah,
baffling.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, our healthcare system is probably less than ideal, honestly. It's not fucking it's not
I mean,
really great.
for us, like all healthcare is free up until 18.
Okay. That
And
makes a lot of sense actually.
yeah, and after that, basically, like you can go to private specialists when you like have to pay around like 50 euros like per specialist, which I guess is like $50. Like the currency is about the same right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can go to non-private specialists, and that costs like around like €5, stuff like that. But you have to wait in a line usually for like a couple of months.
Yeah, for some, I'm assuming for things that are like less serious, you'd have to wait like a few months for something, right?
Yeah, like for example, my grandparents have like a lot of health conditions. You know, they're old, and my grandpa needed to have like surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And since they didn't want to pay, they waited in line for like 6 months, and they did it for free.
Oh, so that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I imagine. Yeah, that's not too bad. Over here, you have to have insurance. It's pretty fucked. And then, like $50, you're saying to see a specialist. That's somewhat normal. Like, I think for me, I have insurance, and my wife and I pay $400 a month for both of us have insurance. And then on top of that, I go to like a specialist is like $75, I think. On top of that, already paying for that. And then of course a regular doctor is like 30, maybe $40. So like we're already kind of getting fucked over in general. It's not exactly a fucking ideal situation, you know.
You guys have to like pay for health, like for us, like health insurance generally not like a big thing, but like some workplaces, like if you work for the government or like my dad worked for Microsoft, he's an IT specialist, and like he had health insurance because that was like a different company, like it wasn't a Latvian company. But like the only way basically how to have like health insurance is like your work pays for it, you don't have to pay anything, but like even if you don't have health insurance, no one really like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, over here it matters like significantly. I mean, if you don't have any money, you can go to a hospital and they'll like have to cover you. They can't just let you die, but it's still pretty fucking it still kind of sucks, you know. It's still rough.
Also, like I'm sure this is like my first time like properly talking to like a grown-up American person who isn't like 12 years old and doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask like what is up with like credit and credit scores, because for us like that is a completely non-existent thing. No one has credit cards. We only have like debit cards. Like you receive like your job like pays you and then you use that money and maybe you get a loan like to buy a house or to buy a car, but that's like pretty much it.
Yeah, so credit, I didn't know that this I mean I didn't know that this wasn't something in other places, but credit yeah, when it comes to credit, it's just basically a credit score is just basically how much they'll trust you to give you money that you don't actually have. So get a credit card, and a credit card is basically, do you know what a credit card is? I know that's a weird question, but sorry, what did you Oh, sorry, you're cutting out. What were you saying?
Credit card is. I've spent a lot of time on the American internet.
Okay, so you do. Okay, you do know what a credit card is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so credit score is just basically how much they'll trust you to take out a loan. That's pretty much what it comes down to, based on like your history of buying things and paying them back in some capacity. That's pretty much what it is. It makes it the higher your credit score, which means like usually more money you have, the easier it is to take out loans, and they'll give you loans for less money. The lower your credit score is they'll increase the amount of money that you'll have to pay on the loan. It's actually kind of shitty for poor people who struggle to like keep up with their loans. That's what a credit score is.
Okay. Sorry. This just like came to me talking about like the Manosphere and history and everything. So like they also love to bring up like the 50s stereotype, like husband works, wife stays at home, raises kids, cleans the house, and everything.
Mhm.
So we didn't really have that in our country because in the 50s we had the Soviet Union and everybody worked.
Mhm.
But about like the American stereotype, the woman were on a shit ton of drugs.
You said the women were on drugs? What do you mean?
Like basically, if you couldn't deal with the amount of like work that you had to do at the house, women were prescribed like amphetamines.
What the fuck? Really? What? That's fucking crazy.
That is like there has been a lot of research done on this topic. I actually looked into it because no one ever talks about it, and I find it so baffling.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were given like amphetamines, and then they were giving like sleeping pills.
Okay.
To like pass out, and
So
that's why they stayed so thin and everything. And that is
Jesus
like what
Christ.
like there was like the fitness craze in the 80s when everybody was like doing Zumba and everything. That happened because they realized that drugs aren't good. And like I'm sure you have taken stimulants, and you know how stimulants like decrease your appetite, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then when they like stopped giving people amphetamine, of course they gained weight because suddenly they were like hungry. And that's like actually why the 80s fitness craze happened, because everybody suddenly started gaining weight because they weren't giving amphetamines anymore.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Okay. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah,
fucked.
this is just something that I find baffling when like a lot of these like big manosphere creators, like they talk about stuff like they actually know anything, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense too because in America, cigarettes used to be considered healthy, and cigarettes are a huge appetite suppressant. It makes it a lot
Yeah,
easier to
that
not eat.
too.
But now that
Like
they're not
during
as
the
acceptable.
filming of like uh the Oz, like during the movie Oz,
Mm-hmm.
uh they gave like a pack of cigarettes to like the main girl actress
Okay.
to like keep her like small, so like she wouldn't eat, so she would like so she didn't like reach puberty.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's fucking crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Holy shit. I didn't know. I did never heard of that. That's fucking bananas. That's fucking terrible. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the filming of Wizard of the Oz was actually really, really messed up. Like how they treated the people.
Yeah, that makes sense. I heard somebody like took their own life on set or something at one point. I don't know if that's like an urban legend, but that's what I had heard.
Could be. I certainly wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Damn.
But yeah, a lot of people like smoke cigarettes where I live. It's like our like anti-cigarette campaigns didn't work like you guys's.
Well, I wonder if your cigarettes are as bad as ours. I don't know exactly how it works from place to place, but I know that like you can make your own cigarettes and they're just tobacco. But over here, there's a lot of like carcinogens and there's like tar. There's stuff that's found like rat poison in our cigarettes. I'm not like more. It's just basically to get you more addicted to cigarettes. I don't know if that's something that
Like
happens where you're from as well.
we have like your regular cigarettes, like Camel and everything. But like a lot of my friends, they do smoke tobacco. Like they just roll their own cigarettes.
Yeah, it's
And
probably
I feed my
healthier.
nicotine addiction with vaping.
Yeah,
Because
I wonder if that's too much better because it's still tobacco in there, but then you're like breathing out. They were talking about how there's like resin on the coils and whatnot that heat up and shit. It's all bad for you. You know what I mean? It's all bad
of
for you.
course, obviously. No, the thing with like vaping, I mean, it's not much better. You're still addicted to a fucking substance, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
vaping like makes your lungs heavier. Like there's more fluid and like in like your lung tissue, I guess.
Okay.
And that's kind of like a health risk, especially if you have like other breathing problems.
Yeah,
Like
for
my
sure.
fiance, he can't smoke, like he has asthma, and he never wants to try it either.
Yeah,
He
that
just
makes
doesn't
sense.
want to risk it.
No, yeah, I mean, you absolutely shouldn't. And not even weed. You probably shouldn't smoke that either. It's just it'll fuck you up. So,
But no, like I grew up in like a pretty small town, and you're like 12 and 13 and there's nothing to do, so you just like steal cigarettes and alcohol and like
yeah.
go to your local like park and just like do dumb kid shit, run from the police.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. For me, like I lived close to an area where there's a lot of kids who used to do that. I didn't really get into that shit. That's when I found like video games. That's when I wonder if I would have done some like crazy shit too. But I had like the N64 and like all that other bullshit. So I got lucky, I guess, not going into that. And I was also very active. Like I was in like I don't know if you know what that is, but like a YMCA, very very physically active and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I was put into all like this stuff. So I kind of stayed off the fucking around too much on the streets. So I got lucky with that. But there's so many kids. We used to have they called it Smokers Island outside of our school. Kids would just go and just smoke cigarettes. They'd cut class and smoke cigarettes in front of the school where everybody could see them. And it wasn't until after I graduated from that school that they banned kids from being able to go on the Smokers Island, which was fucking crazy because it was like I was there 4 years. They didn't care at all. They didn't. It's so weird, man. Like just the culture. Like people just didn't give a fuck about kids smoking cigarettes back when I was like growing up. It's nuts. Everybody fucking smoked cigarettes. Nobody cared about anything.
No one cares where I live either. So like our school system works in a way where like there are like 12 grades from like 7 to like 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
And during like my 7th to 9th grade, which is like I started school year early, so like to 12 to like 15, I lived in this like small town with my grandparents. And we had our school, and then like right in front of the school there was like a farmer's market, like your typical like European like farmer's market with like small houses where like the people would like sell stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And during our like school breaks, we have like 10-minute breaks between lessons. We would just go to those houses and like hide behind them to like smoke. And a couple of times, like the police precinct was like a couple of like a kilometer away, and sometimes the police would like try to catch us.
Would they actually try to catch you guys? Like, would they actually give that much of a shit about it?
I think like sometimes they just liked fucking with us.
Yeah. I wonder, like, because I think in America, it's not illegal to smoke cigarettes underage. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
As for us, like,
but it's like
you
illegal
can
to
get
sell.
like
it's weird.
like a write up, I guess.
Yeah,
like it's on your record.
Yeah, I think it's more like illegal to sell. Obviously, like you don't want to be fucking selling this shit to kids. I don't know the specifics. They don't usually like punish kids with like any type of jail time or something. They're more interested in like people
no.
getting it to them than anything else. Like how are fucking kids
it's basically like if you get caught, you like get taken to the precinct. Your parents get called, and you have to like sign a paper that like I was smoking. Please forgive me.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah, exactly. That's how it is back then. Or that's how it is now. It's been so long. I feel like we're better with kids not smoking cigarettes than we used to be, but
in Europe, like a lot of people smoke. Like, okay, my parents don't smoke. My mom quit when she got pregnant with me. But a lot of like teenagers do. They steal their parents' or like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares that much.
No, they don't. Isn't it fucking crazy? Nobody gives a
shit. I feel like for us, like we're like I guess like 30, like we're more like when you were like growing up, because no one's that overprotective here. Like a lot of like 7, 8-year-old kids just like take public transport on their own.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great because like we used to kind of be like that too. I feel like back in like we used to be less protective. Like a while ago, like when I was growing up, people didn't care. Like that was normal. Kids would go on airplanes by themselves all the time. It was so normal. And nowadays, I would be terrified if I had a kid to like let them outside the house. We used to just go around and just do whatever we wanted all day. Like my mom would just be like, get out of the house, and then you just go around and you just venture wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Nowadays, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable like with the kid doing that.
No, for us it's like really normal. Like I live in a very like kind of like we have like our main city, you know, like 5,000 like 500,000 people, you know, and I live kind of like just outside of it, in like the suburbs, I guess, in the American perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I walk to the store that's like 15 minutes from my house, we have like a little playground, and like I like see like 10 8-year-olds, like it's like 10 p.m. in the summer, and they're just like doing their own thing, you know, walking around, talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of like kids go to school on their own. Like one of my friends,
Oh, they just like walk there?
she lived like pretty close to her school, like a 20-minute walk, and she would like walk on her own when she was like 7 or 8, like from that age.
7 or 8. I was about to say, like, I lived close to my high school, so I would walk there. But 7 or 8, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. I feel like that's normal in some other countries too, because I remember hearing about that. I think in maybe China. I could be wrong, but like all the kids would walk. So it was like a fucking flood of kids. So I guess it would be safer in that capacity when you have it like that. But it's still so foreign to me. Like, it's such a bizarre
In
idea.
general, like we have like, okay, this is gonna sound like pretty dark, I guess, but we have only had like one like serious pedophile case in like the last like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
The police actually fucked up majorly on that one.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, because like they knew how the dude looked, right? And they didn't catch him because he was from a different city than he was like doing like the rapes in. So they, even though they had him on file, right? They didn't think that he could be from a different city. So they only caught him like 5 years later from like a traffic violation because like the DNA matched or something, I guess.
That's crazy. 5 years. That's like that's horrible. I wonder how many like kids he unfortunately took advantage of. That's terrible.
How far we know.
That's fucking terrible.
But yeah, I mean, we don't really like. There's only like less than 2 million people in like my whole country.
Oh, really?
So
I wonder how many people are in my state alone. I'm just curious now.
I mean, you can drive from like one end of my country to the other end of my country in like 5 hours.
Really? There's over 8 million people in my state alone. Like, that's fucking nuts.
That's insane because for us, like I live in like the main city, like the big city, right? And even then, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, that's something that's not like that here. There's like such a community doesn't really exist where I live. Like, there's not a robust community of people. It's very like, I feel like that's a contributor to like higher crime rates, is when people don't know each other, because you're more likely to like fuck around and not listen and all that shit. Like, just the fact that like if you see like a kid and you know their parents, like you can get in trouble as that kid, so you feel like more you feel like you're not gonna fuck around as much. It's crazy. We really have no community over here in a lot of areas.
I have a friend whose like mother is a teacher, like at my previous school. I've switched a lot of schools. And like she would be so scared to like smoke anywhere because like someone who like knows her mom would see her and like tell her mom.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good thing. They say it takes a community to raise like, kids sometimes. So
like my neighbors, like when I was a little kid, my neighbors used to like regularly just come over and watch me. When my mom or like grandma were busy, we would like go to the sea together and everything.
Yeah, I had like a community stuff too. It's so funny because my mom used to tell me, or she would tell the people that would watch me that if I did anything bad, that they could beat the fuck out of me. I didn't fuck around. I was a really good kid for like everybody else, because like my mom was like, yeah, you can hit them, so I never fucked around under that threat. That's just the good old days.
My mom used to like beat me pretty bad sometimes when I got bad grades.
Damn, that's brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up, but now we're like, my parents divorced, like my mom cheated on my dad, whatever, not important. But now I'm pretty close with my mom because like she's still raising my little sister, and like now if she does something that's like, that I consider to be like messed up, because she did a good enough job messing me up, I just like tell her like to no. if you do that to my little sister, I'm gonna like
Yeah, you're gonna have
do stuff
to.
to you.
You're gonna have to intervene.
Yeah, because
It's
like my little sister really views me as like an authority, I would guess.
yeah, I
Because I
get
did a
that.
lot to like protect her when she was smaller.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
my mom, because my mom didn't beat me like that bad, but my mom used to be like hit me like a lot, and then like she went to a therapist one day and then like stopped hitting me, and when I was like that's how that kind of manifested itself in that capacity.
yeah, my mom like got divorced because my dad's like not a great person to be married to. My
Hmm.
mom got divorced, and like I stayed with my dad, and my little sister went with my mom.
Hmm.
Because like she's like my half sister, I guess. It's like my father isn't like her birth father.
Yeah.
And then we have like since then we've had a pretty decent relationship.
Well, that's good. I
Sometimes
mean,
it's like nice to like take a break from your family, you know.
oh, for sure. I'm on a permanent break from it. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it's definitely can be nice to take a break from your family sometimes, for sure. It's a little perspective in there.
Because like after I stayed with my dad, and then I moved in with my grandmother because my dad like got a promotion at Microsoft, and he had to like travel a lot.
Hmm.
He would like go to America for like 2 weeks, and I was like 10, you know.
Hmm.
So I moved in with my grandma, and my mom's mother, and like by the end of it, like when I was like 13, I couldn't take her anymore. She's like very overprotective.
Hmm.
So I like moved into the dorms since I was like an honor student. Like I was one of the best students in my school. They were like willing to do anything to like keep me in the school. So they allowed me to like live in the dorms.
Oh, that's it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it gave you a little bit. I can imagine that gave you like a little bit of a break there, huh?
Yeah, it's like since like everybody knows everybody, everybody knows like the family situation.
Hmm.
So like that's kind of actually really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can definitely imagine. Yeah.
because like I really needed that. I was like on the verge of killing myself.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely brutal. I don't mean to rush you, but only because like I got a bunch of people like popped in here now because nobody
I'm so
was.
sorry.
No, it's not. No problem. Nobody was in the queue for a while, so we were just chatting. But I noticed that there's like 8 people now, so or 6. So I do appreciate you hanging out and having a chat with you. I'm gonna move on to the next person. So you take care, all right?
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Take care.
Thank you.
Alrighty. All right, there's a couple more people in here. Let's get the next person up. Sorry, I didn't notice for so long, guys. I did not mean to do that. What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing is it you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up? How you doing?
All right. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Side
good.
note, the person on before was talking about Manosphere and kings and whatnot, and
Yeah.
I think I've heard that queens, that England had like better queens than kings, but
Did they? Yeah, I'm not super educated on like the history of the.
that's just from what I've heard. I've heard that the queens in England have fared way better than the kings.
Maybe.
Even Russia had better. I think probably had better female rulers.
Hey,
than...
women are very based. You know, they're
Yeah,
very based
yeah.
and red pilled. If you ask me, am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like either way, when people talk about Manosphere shit and they started going like referencing like what the standards we had in the past, like you kind of like already lost in my opinion. Because like, what are you talking about? Like, why are we referencing like standards from the past that were like that weren't necessarily the greatest? You know, like, oh well, what if I just started saying we should do slavery because like that's how it was in the day? Like, you know, we don't win those conversations, you know. So it just seems kind of like silly to me for people to talk about it in that capacity sometimes. So
yeah.
So what's up? What you got for me?
Well, actually, I was gonna ask you because like on the subject of queens and whatnot, how do you feel about the queen dying?
Oh, I don't give a singular fuck at all, to be honest.
You don't give a singular fuck? Okay.
No. I don't.
So you're just indifferent.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's to fucking care about? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's like.
Right. No, I mean, I don't care if you're like indifferent. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's just like to me, I feel like what like queens. Why do they even have a queen? This game. Why even have a fucking queen? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems kind of stupid to me.
I mean, yeah, it is a little pointless, but I think the queen kind of represents something that, or any royal family now, kind of represents something that like America doesn't have, but like
What's that?
Something that's like
sanity.
No, but something that's like consistent and can like unite a country, right? Like the
I
royal
guess.
family will always be consistent, and there will always be somebody there. Because the royal family, like Charles, right? Like King Charles now, he's supposed to be. He kind of abandoned like all of his like activism and whatnot because the king or queen is supposed to be kind of like neutral,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Okay.
So the like active ruling member should be neutral and can provide like I don't know, like I guess unity whenever a country is like falling apart.
I mean, I guess I get that. I mean, we have a president. I feel like that could, or that should matter. Some people.
That's changing like every, you know.
Yeah, I know.
every
I
8
think
years
I understand what
usually,
you're
so.
saying. Like they have, like they can rally around like whatever bullshit, like having a queen. Or I just kind of think it's stupid to pay
Right.
people to do literally nothing because that's what it really boils down to, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what.
paying somebody
Yeah,
to
I
do
mean,
literally
it is
nothing.
kind of like. Yeah, it is kind of like.
It's ridiculous
weird.
to me. Yeah, it seems like absolutely
Right,
preposterous to me. Like it just seems like such a
I mean,
fucking crazy
yeah.
waste. So I
Well,
don't
I mean, what's
personally
even.
get it.
I don't understand how you could. Yeah, I mean, you just give so much like infinite wealth to these people.
Yeah, right.
All right.
And I think my understanding is that when the queen died, they didn't have to pay a wealth, like they didn't have to pay like an inheritance tax, which I think would be like 50% for that whatever like range that they were in. And it's like that's fucking crazy. Like they're exempt from like the law. And you know, inheritance tax in general, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of inheritance tax because I think it's kind of stupid. I mean, like you should be able to get the money that they earned. They've already paid taxes on the money. But if you're gonna have that standard, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna have that standard, have it for everybody. It's fucking nuts. But it's just stupid as fuck. So, yeah. You got any other questions, my friend?
I don't know. I don't know if you saw. This is on the same topic. I don't know if you saw Hassan like clowning on the queen. Like, does that sort of irritate you, or are you also just indifferent to that?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, she just died. I can't believe you're doing that. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that. It is kind of funny that he's shitting on the queen being dead, but then at the same time, like when his fucking dog dies, like what was it, a pixel thing? He's crying about his fucking pixel dog
on place.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude, like it's stupid.
Well, I just thought it was weird, like his criticisms of the queen. Like his number one criticism was she's like the biggest property owner or something.
He's gonna always have like
like
a Western bad perspective. So if you're somebody that like identifies, like I don't know the specifics of her history at all. I'm sure she's been complicit in bad. Maybe she has been, but it's kind of funny that well, Hassan will talk about how like women are kind of like forced into particular roles, and so wouldn't you be like, oh baby, you know, I don't know. I guess he's just being an asshole for like the sake of it. I don't know how bad of a person she is, but. You know,
she actually, I mean, she did quite a lot. I mean, you have to like kind of look into like how old she was and how much she's been through. I mean, she was alive during World War II. She shook hands with Winston Churchill.
Wait, how old was she?
She's like 98.
Get the fuck out. Well, I guess she's dead now, but damn, wow, that's crazy.
So she shook hands with all these like world leaders, and I think that's like the worst part about it. It's not that like
yes, 96. That's nuts.
Right. It's like her personality is like it's kind of like my new point. I think it's just that like a part of the world's history just kind of like is not there anymore.
Yeah, I think that like when it comes down to it, we've kind of like forsaken historical value or historical context for pretty much anything that's going on. Like everybody's like you look at like our former presidents and they're like, well, they're bad because they might have had slaves, and like slavery is bad, but like for the time they were progressive kind of a thing, and people don't really care about that anymore. They subscribe to today's morals to like the past. So
yeah, I mean, I know even like John Adams, like he was pretty anti-slavery, but he never like legislated for it, which is like kind of understandable because like at the time you had the colonies like fighting. Like,
back then, all the rich people owned slaves, so like I couldn't imagine like how that like what kind of a fear factor there would be there,
right?
Of like potentially
it'd be
kind of for that, you know.
Right, and it'd also be kind of hard to push legislation for that when you're literally fighting like England.
Yeah,
or trying to establish a government. You know.
Yeah, you're trying not to be fucking dead. That's your number one priority. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Washington he freed his slaves like before he died.
Oh, did he?
I don't know.
That's good on him, I suppose. Yeah.
I don't know for what reason though, but
maybe he felt bad owning a person. Like I
don't know.
I truly wonder how people felt, like the average person felt about slavery. Like because I feel like the average person was like, I don't like black people, which obviously wrong. But like I don't think that they should be enslaved. I feel like that I don't know. I imagine that's how they feel. I don't really know though.
I would imagine that, and not to like give so much like leeway to people in the past, but like I would imagine that people back then were probably a little bit more progressive than we like to give them credit for.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't doubt that.
You know?
But I guess you never really know. But like I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that they cared more about shit. The way we portray things is like really bizarre nowadays. I feel like a lot of the way, because like slavery's always been bad. I feel like some of the ways that we've portrayed slavery in the past is probably like from a white guilt perspective, where you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To make like white people feel better nowadays about not being racist. It's like, well, I'm not racist. Look at these terrible, like slave owners are shit, but like look at these terrible people. You know what I mean? And they're like, see, I'm better than that. And it's like, well, that's the status quo is to not think black people are property.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of the standard. Like, good on you, brother.
So, but you never really know. You never really fucking know. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next person, my friend.
Yeah.
So you have anything else? So you
have a good day, man.
Peace out.
Oh, hold on.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. What's up? What do you
got? Are you ready for the? Have you played the MW2 open beta?
Oh,
or beta yet?
Is it Modern? Is it Modern Warfare? Is that you said?
Yeah, it's coming out in like 45 minutes.
No, I haven't played it. No. I'm not a big into it. I maybe I'll get it. I don't, but I'm not.
I'm gonna get on that right now. So I gotta go.
All right, you have fun. Take care.
Yep. Oh, fucking. What the fuck?
There we go. Modern Warfare 2.
Hello.
What's up? How are you?
Doing good, and you?
Could be worse. I'm not too bad. I'm feeling pretty good today. What you got for me?
So I wanted to ask, where do you think in general American politics is headed in the next 10 or so years, especially in these next 2 years with the elections coming up, the presidential elections?
Sorry, did you have more of the question?
No, that's it.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I'm like the best political analyst for like speculating on where we're gonna go politically. I don't know. I feel like we're always just gonna bounce back and forth to like going a little more conservative, then going a little more progressive. I think that people think that like the end is near and we're gonna fucking explode, but I don't think we're gonna get to like the end is like the that we're gonna all fucking die and everything is gonna like go to shit. It's possible. But I think we'll probably come to a head where there's going to be more activism for specifically like wealth inequality and whatnot. And then we'll kind of like explode from there. And then we'll get like hopefully more rights and whatnot. I don't know. Well, I don't know how volatile it'll get. I wonder if Donald Trump becomes president, it might get a little volatile. But hopefully that does. I mean, like, hopefully it really doesn't happen. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Another question I have for you is, what do you think about Twitch, like the whole Twitch fiasco happening right now with them banning gambling, things like that?
I think it's a good thing to like. I don't know if they explicitly banned gambling or if
I think they banned some aspects of gambling, like I think they banned slots and stuff like that.
Or they banned like especially countries like outside of they pretty much banned gambling, I guess. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think that I understand the argument of like, oh, some of these people are like adults and they should kind of be able to do whatever they want. I totally understand that argument, and I tend to agree. The problem is that it's really easy for kids to access these like gambling sites and shit. It's not properly vetted, and it's obviously a bad influence on these kids. They shouldn't really be able to gamble. So I think it's good. You know, if they did something where it was like, you had to like sign up with your credit card or something, or not your credit card, or with like with an identification card in order to get on these gambling sites, or in order to like okay, sorry, let me be a little more concise. If they made it so there was some kind of like identification, like a driver's license and identification to age restricting yourself, I would be more open to gambling being back on the platform. Because right now, let's say they said like, okay, you have to set your stream to 18 plus. Oh, kids are just gonna lie about their fucking age. You know, but if they made it so that you had to verify it with with an ID, I'd be totally fine, because now I know that it's 18 plus and it's just adults watching that, and I think that's the biggest thing when it comes for me, out of anything else.
Yeah, I think gambling, like the Twitch banning, like the gambling, is a good idea, but where I don't understand why they have like kind of a bias, like why would you ban gambling, but then you also have like these you could call them like hot tub streamers, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like hot tub streamers, and I would say that gambling is an addiction that is like really bad, and so is these like porn addiction, right? And little kids are seeing these like hot tub streamers, and I would say like that would lead them down a path that they could become addicted to things like this, like porn and stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I think that we aren't there yet as a society to have a conversation about like how bad porn is. I think that's really what it boils down to. Nobody's really talking about it. I think because it sounds preposterous to a lot of people. I think they're like, porn, it's not that big of a deal. It's so normal. I don't think we've had the right conversation about it. I think fundamentally, like, porn isn't really that bad for kids. I don't think it's bad for them, but it's not about like what. It's not really about the porn itself. It's about it's more about the fact that it's such aggressive porn. And like back in the day, if you found your dad's titty magazine or something, it didn't really matter. You're gonna see some tits. But now it's like if you find some boobs on the internet, all of a sudden you can go down like this pipeline where you're starting to watch like really violent stuff. That's what's teaching kids consent nowadays. You know, like that's where kids are learning about like consent and whatnot, is they're learning it from pornography. So it's teaching the wrong things. I think that has like a profoundly negative impact, and we're not really having that conversation the right way. Most people just don't really care. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I get it. I personally don't necessarily care about the OnlyFans thing because again, you have to be age restricted to go on to OnlyFans. Like in order to, well, maybe, yeah, I think. Oh, and actually, I don't know if in order to purchase. No, you don't actually in order to purchase. Yeah.
To be on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's great. I think we could have conversations about like definitely restricting and limiting that. I would say gambling honestly is like worse, but maybe that's not necessarily true. But I'm sure we'll start having the conversation at some point. It's hard to distinguish some of the people saying that they don't like the gambling because they think it's bad and like a bad influence on kids versus like the people who are saying it just to be like women bad. It depends like the person, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. You take care, all right?
Yeah, you too.
Peace. Peace. Mason M.
Hello.
What's up?
How's it going, dude?
Not too bad. How are you doing? What you got for me today?
I want to talk to you about Disney. I've never actually been. So.
Okay. I mean, not sure. I'm down for that one. What about Disney? What about Disney?
Well, like I've never been there. I'm from like the north, like the bum fucking nowhere in the north.
Okay.
So, like, what about Disney do you like? Like, why do you like to go?
The biggest reason, like the biggest thing I like about Disney, in all honesty, is how much my wife enjoys it. Like my wife, like I enjoy that part of it.
Okay.
For her, she like, I don't know exactly what it is that she likes so much, but I know that when I go there and we walk around, my wife gets very giddy and excited for like seeing the characters, like just the ones in like costumes. That excites her, and the rides excite her, and the food is like different, and that's exciting to her. So like she loves that kind of stuff. So like that's what really gets me into it more than anything else. Like if she didn't like Disney, I would not give a shit about it, but she likes it a lot. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I like this too. Like by association kind of a thing. So maybe I'll get her on here to answer that question one day. She's at like a fucking baby shower right now, so I can't do it. But
okay. Well, this is kind of like a side note question because you said something and it kind of caught my attention. But are you like, is there something different about your wife, or are you just like a natural people pleaser?
No, I think I'm a natural people pleaser. So like sometimes it's not like a great for me. I actually, it's so funny because I was thinking about this the other day. This was a long time ago. This is when I was like 21, maybe 20, maybe 19. It was fucking bad, right? So there's this guy. I went to the bank, and like all of us from my job went to the bank. It was like after 10 because we get out at 10 o'clock, or we used to. And such a bad story. And we went to the bank, and there's this guy at the bank, and he was walking around asking for money. And he's like, hey, man, like, can I have some money? I need a ride somewhere. I'm like, oh, yeah, no problem, bro. I said, but I could just drive you there if you want. So I let this fucking stranger get in my car so that I could, like, potentially drive him somewhere.
No shot.
I absolutely did this. It was fucking nuts. So I let this fucking random-ass motherfucker come into in my car and everything. And afterwards, my coworker's like, did you know that guy? And by the way, he got out of the car very quickly. I drove him up the road. He's like, no, I'm good. I was like, oh, okay. And then I gave him $20 because I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on right here. And he's like, yo, you know that guy? I was like, no. He's like, he was asking for like drug money. You realize that, like, and you had to get in your car. I was like, oh, like that's how fucking like dumb I am. That's how like, so I am like that. I feel like it's interesting because there's a lot of people that I've interacted with in my life, and specifically my wife will be like, you shouldn't interact with them. They're bad. And I'm like, no. And I give them a chance, and then it ends up like, turning out bad. And she's like, I told you. Like, my wife is a very good read on a lot of people. But yeah, I'm a natural people pleaser. Like, I enjoy that kind of shit all the time. So yeah.
You know, I totally understand you wanting to give that guy a ride because that's something that I would have thought, but you know, personally, couldn't be me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Me.
It was. Let me tell you something. It was a bad idea. Don't do that, guys. It's a bad idea. Never do that. Don't ever do that again. It's a fucking terrible idea. But hey, man, like at the time I was like, oh, this is the good thing to do. I got to do it. You got to have a thing. So kind of nay-nayed myself, as the kids would say, you know.
Well, at least you didn't get in trouble for it, so.
Yeah, I didn't get fucking killed, so that was the trouble I avoided there.
You know, I was thinking about police trouble, but that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a good point, actually. Yeah, but I'm alive. So you know what? I guess I did a really nice thing. I gave somebody drug money. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh?
Do drugs? Well, no, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
But back to Disney. What's your like? Well, I mean, you don't have to answer this question because I'm sure you probably want to keep it private. But like, what's your favorite place to go?
Like in Disney? Like, what's my favorite?
Yeah.
Like, what's my
Because I don't know what Disney is. Well, like I know what it is, but like I have never been there. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, so the Disney one, there's like a bunch of different ones. I think I go to Disney World in Florida. I don't know if it's I think it's Disney World. I go to the Florida one. And so like there's 4 parks. There's like Magic Kingdom, which is like Disney. It's the traditional Disney. Then there's Epcot, which is it's like old people Disney. It's Disney for old people. And then there's like Magic Studios, what they call it, where there's Magic Studios, and then there's Animal Kingdom, which is pretty cool. As far as my favorite, it's hard to say because they're just all so different. I'd say probably like the studio one. They have like a really cool area there that is they have a really cool area where it's like a whole like they recreated like a Star Wars town or some shit. It's cool. So that's I think my favorite in there. Probably the rides are cool too. They have decent food there.
Are you like into the Star Wars lore?
Probably not. Like not super a lot. Like I like Star Wars, but I'm not super into like Star Wars lore. I kind of like got like a little. I kind of like pulled out of the of the Star Wars community a little bit after they released the newest video. But you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like the newest video,
yeah,
the newest movie.
Yeah,
it wasn't that great to me. So there's
like the most recent one, or
the new trilogy. I didn't like particularly care. The first one was decent, like 7, I guess you'd call it. But after that,
okay.
like they kind of shit on the story at a certain point. You know what I mean? And that just kind of got like less. I stopped liking it after that point.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you. Then
yeah, sure. Go on.
So, did you watch the new Cyberpunk show?
No, people were saying it's really good though.
I watched it. I watched it yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's so good. You gotta watch it.
People have been saying that it's really good. I've heard that a few times.
And then I forgot my second question. Oh, I have.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, it's been cool.
All right, man. You take care, all right?
You too. Bye.
Peace. See if I can actually win this fucking level this time. You get my ass fucking stuffed. Here, let's see. This is 60. Oh, 63. That's why. Oh, easy. Okay.
I have a question.
What's up? What's up?
Do you play any RPG games? Like, have you ever like played them? Like that's like your. What do you think of them?
Like, have I ever played RPG? Like, what kind of an RPG? Like, give me like an example of a.
Like, do you play them? I mean, I'm just like, are they your kind of game you like to play?
Well, so that's what I was saying, because I play a lot of World of Warcraft, which is technically an RPG, but I don't know if people would necessarily would necessarily like say World of Warcraft as like an RPG. I fucked up. So does World of Warcraft count, or?
I mean, I would count it. Have you ever played or considered playing like the Shadow of War games, like the Middle Earth games?
I think I played the first one. Mordor, whatever. That Shadows of Mordor, that was really good, actually. I could probably play that again.
I'm playing the second one right now, Shadow of War. If you haven't ever played it, I would like really recommend it. It's so fun.
Is it that good? Yeah, I might actually do that. I might play the first one first again, just to get refamiliarize myself with it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what's up? What's going on, brother? Sorry, I pulled you in right when he had asked a question. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Barely. I can barely hear you. You're very, very, very low. You there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like, are you turning it up or?
I'm looking to see if I can turn it up. I'm sorry, I barely use Discord.
No worries. I think. Let me know if you could turn it up. I'll give you a minute.
Is that better?
No, not really. Well, I'll try to listen to your question, and I'll just turn like all the game sound off. All right. So what's up?
Well, I was gonna talk to you about, you said something a while ago in one of your videos talking about abortion that I didn't quite understand the angle you were coming at.
Okay.
You were saying something about it's not technically a baby, but that's not the angle I would have come at it from
Okay.
personally. I would more focus on the fact that when somebody's in a difficult position to whether even thinking about taking somebody else's life, that is already an extreme position that um like it's already such an extreme position that nobody, like, I have never been in a situation where I'm asked to either take somebody else's life or stop somebody else from existing,
Mm-hmm.
um or something might happen to me. I have never been in that kind of situation.
Yeah, I get
I
what you're saying. The problem I would have with that fundamental argument is like I could put that on like a born child. So it's like, yeah, I'm in a really tough financial spot, extreme situation. Like, so like should I be able to kill my child just so I wouldn't have to deal with it? That's why I wouldn't go with like that argument. I understand what you're saying, but if you don't collect that with an argument like that there's no personhood assigned to a fetus, you kind of just are justifying killing like birthed people already, and that's like obviously I think we all know like whatever. So that's a bad thing, obviously.
true,
So
true.
that's what
Right.
that's for that argument, you know.
But another thing that I wanted to come in here and talk to you about is that uh that the whole the whole Twitch situation with all those streamers
Mhm.
and the SA uh being like, I it bothers me so much because as somebody that has been accused of such a thing, I take these stuff very seriously, and I
Mhm.
haven't been the same since
Mhm.
uh the shit happened to me. And just seeing that all of these how old are they? Like in their 20s?
I think they're in like their mid to late 20s, a lot of them.
It's just sad that it I don't know, it just bothers me.
Like
Bothers me.
what is it that bothers you about it? Like that you feel like they're over
I
affirming it? Is that what bothers you?
that they're not caring about it, that something this sexual assault is very serious.
Mhm.
Again, I was accused of it and I haven't been the same since. Like
Yeah.
it I don't know, it just bothers
No,
me.
yeah, no, I'm asking. You don't have to answer if you want to. Are you saying that like you feel like it's a little bit um blown out of proportion? Is that what you're saying?
Uh what do you mean by that?
Like,
Like
do you feel like they're all coming out the gate with like he must have done it kind of a thing, instead of like exploring if he did or didn't do it? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, I'm just talking about the situation in general that they're not that they're not caring about it from either side, the woman's or the man's, that they're not taking it seriously and just putting all this petty, unnecessary bullshit in front of
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah, I totally agree with that 100%. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's very like it's not very focused around what happened to the person. It's more focused about like them going out of their way to complain about like something going on in their life more than anything else. Like that's 100% happening. Like everybody's bitching and moaning about like personal petty fucking bullshit drama. That seems to be like the priority for people, to air out personal grievances than actually like talk about the situation in a way that where the situation like deserves to be talked about, for sure. 100%. I agree with you on that. Every single one of them, both sides are doing that. It's fucking insane, for sure. I agree with that.
Even as somebody that was falsely accused, I don't look at this situation. I just look at the situation as very seriously as possible, because no matter because I guess most people would assume that somebody like me would always be be more lenient towards the man side, but I just take it personally. I just take I just take the situation as it is. I don't know the specifics. Don't know the personal relationship between the two. I just what the information is given, and I will respond to that based off that. I I don't know. I've never been like, even with something serious or something like this has happened, I have never really been like more, I don't know if it's just me, but I've never been more uh lenient, more on the side that people would assume me on. I I don't know, maybe I'm just weird.
What do you mean?
Um
I
like
don't know if I heard you. Sorry.
when something like this something serious would put me onto being more what do you call it, agreeable or charitable to the side that I would be on.
Okay.
I haven't I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but I've never been like uh I've never been I've never been on the side that people completely on the side. Like I always take stuff like case by case
Oh
basis.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like you try to be more objective when you talk about stuff instead of like over affirming
Yeah.
something when you don't really know what's happening. Oh yeah, for sure. I understand that completely. Yeah, I feel like the same way, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I had more stuff that I want to talk about, but I forgot all of it.
No worries, man.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, yeah. Take care. All right.
You too.
Peace. The next one up. How much should I sell here? I feel like I'm getting my shit pushed on this fucking boss fight. Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. What you got for me today?
Nothing much. I was just gonna say, well, first off, I really enjoy your content. I love the Chris Chan stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I had actually just started watching it like a week before because I had just found it, and I was like, oh man, I really hope Papa Gut like actually does like watch this when you started mentioning it, and then you actually did.
Yeah, I think I'm at like
Oh,
64. I don't remember. I have to finish it out though.
oh yeah, the stuff that comes up in the next couple episodes. I mean, it doesn't get. I don't remember it being too intense. It's just kind of just getting more sad.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right. Whole fucking situation is sad, sad shit.
Yeah.
Sad as fuck, man.
I actually did have kind of a question for you though.
Yeah, sure. What's up? What do you got for me?
So I've been kind of trying to start streaming, and I was wondering if you had any kind of advice for me.
So where are you streaming? There's my first question.
Mostly I'm streaming gaming. Well, obviously.
Well,
I'm streaming
where are you streaming?
Oh, Twitch.
Yeah, so my first thing will tell you is to like dual stream then if you have like the ability to do it. I honestly think you're better off streaming on YouTube if you had to pick between the two. YouTube's algorithm is, I think, a little bit better. There's probably a higher chance that you're going to show up because there's more people watching videos on YouTube. And so like when people are scrolling through videos on YouTube, they might actually come across your stream and be like, oh, look, here's this person. So I would say, I would say if you're going to choose one, I would honestly do YouTube, especially with like the PR nightmare that's going on right now. It's really impossible. unless somebody's explicitly looking for a really small gaming streamer, they're never going to come across you in any capacity, unfortunately. On YouTube, however, it's possible that if like the other day, I like World of Warcraft. I watch World of Warcraft videos on my off time. So I came across a really small streamer that had like 10 viewers, and I started watching them for like a half an hour, like that, because I'm looking for something to watch on YouTube, and sometimes it's a streamer. So that's your number one that you should definitely do. The second thing that you're going to want to do is like how long do you intend to stream each day?
Usually I stream for about maybe an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2.
Okay.
I don't usually try to stream too long.
That's not that bad. That's actually, I was gonna say, like, don't stream. I was gonna say don't stream more. Do you have like another job, or is this like you're right now, like, what's something that you want to focus on?
I have a job, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, like, don't do any more than like 4 hours of streaming a day. 2 hours, I think, is probably perfect. It gives you more time to focus on trying to do something entertaining, and you don't have to freak out about it. Like, I would just try to do something. I don't know what games is it that you, or what games or what type of games do you play?
Well, mostly I've been streaming a lot of fighting games lately. The new JoJo's game came out, so I've been playing that a lot.
Yeah, perfect.
But I do play a lot of like Call of Duty and stuff like that too with my friends and stuff like that. Sometimes.
Yeah. So play whatever game you're doing. Stream for like the hour or two. Definitely want that shit to be on YouTube. And then what I would do is I would focus more of your energy on like trying to get one segment from each YouTube video or from each stream as a YouTube video per day. And even possibly, if you have a little bit of time, maybe make a clip that you could put up on TikTok.
Okay, so I've actually been doing that a lot with my fighting game clips. I've been trying to upload those on TikTok.
Have you uploaded any of them?
Yeah, I've uploaded a couple.
Yeah, show me your show me your page if you can.
Okay, hang on.
Or you can just give me the name of it if you want.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's hang on.
I'll never disturb Stacy's.
You just got to spell it out for me because I'm fucking.
Okay. Well, it's just McDonald's ruined my life.
All right, my life. Is that what's the name of your channel? Is it
my channel's no.
Is this
my
it?
Channel's Arts Minutes. Hang on. Let me go over to the stream real quick. I'll check.
Okay.
It probably is though.
Yeah. What's the name of your What's the name of your stream? Is it McDonald's Ruined My Life?
No, it's my stream is Arts Minutes. Hang on. Let me close the stream out.
Yeah, so the only thing
I need to change my TikTok.
Yeah, I would say maybe try to change the TikTok. Another thing that you might want to do is like if this is because it's a fighting game, so you can't really make it the way that other people do it, where it's like how they will what the hell's the word called? They'll optimize it for TikTok, where it's like the 16:9 or the 9:16, whatever bullshit aspect ratio. Since you have a little bit of free space, just do yourself a favor, like just put a little thing like maybe like right here underneath in the dead space that just like has your YouTube on it or something small, not super distracting. Then people will know what it comes from.
Hey, damn.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Something to direct people there, and you're not going to see a whole lot of direction from TikTok necessarily to the like instantaneously. It takes like a long time for people to go, but it's more about practicing. Like get your clips up there, and then put it up there, and then like it takes a while, and then like boom, it's going to be like one of those like big pops. I would also do something with like a YouTube video. So let me go to like let me go to the Papa Gut channel. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I think iShowSpeed is probably the best person for you to look at when it comes to like how to be successful in this kind of thing. So what Speed will do usually, and I don't know if he's doing it lately, but what Speed will do is he'll stream. Oh, he hasn't been doing it lately. Okay. That's unfortunate. But what he really blew him up was he would stream a video and then he would take a clip out of that stream and he would make it another video. So I'm trying to find out where he would do that. Because it looks like he's just been streaming lately. That's crazy. Yeah, okay. So what you're going to want to do is stream for like your hour or two and then find a nice video that it might just be like if you're doing fighting game, it might be like a really good fight where you felt like you did really well. Or it might be like a moment. You don't have to go crazy with like super editing or anything. You can really just do stop, start, put it up there, and then people are more likely to look at that. And then they're more likely to look at your whole stream after that potentially. So that's something that you want to do. It's like, put the 2 hour stream, leave the stream in the thing. you know, when you get to the point of monetizing it, do that, and then get like that clip in there. That's like a really important part of it.
Okay.
You want people to like look at you. That's their biggest issue, is you want people to look at you, and it's going to be difficult for them to look at a longer stream at first, but you got to get them to like look at like the clip. Oh, I liked this. Maybe I'll go check out the full video. That's where you want to focus your time on more than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a lot of marketing, and it gives you time too, because like when you first starting, there's gonna be mistakes you're gonna make. You're not even gonna realize they're a mistake until you slowly like start to learn. It gives you like a lot of time to polish your content. So don't get discouraged if it's a slow start either. Just like look at that, consider that time that you get to have to like perfect your content and make it a little bit better every single day. There's a lot of viral content creators, like I show Speed for one, where they blow up really quickly, and like they're really that you're most of the time you're not going to be that person, and not in like a shitty bad way. Like,
Right.
I'm not that person, but like I make I do well. Like I make a surprisingly like really solid amount of money. People watch my content. Like that's what you're looking for. You're looking to like have like a nice sustainable thing, and you're also looking to work on having loyal followers, not just a lot of followers, because that matters more, you know. People who will stick around, who like you for your personality. So try to keep it genuine too, and then try not to like when you hit burnout, try to like acknowledge that and take like a little bit of a step back, because sometimes people will be like, oh shit, they'll get the energy, they'll pick it off there, and they'll be like, oh man. So
Okay.
yeah, hopefully that was decent enough advice.
No, that's actually really good advice. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all. No problemo. No problem. All right. They got anything else for me?
I think that's it. Again, I just wanted to say I've been watching you for almost like a year now, I think, and I love your content.
I
Just
appreciate
keep
that.
up the good work, and yeah, just good. I really appreciate the chance to talk to you too.
Oh yeah, no problem. Well, I appreciate the fact that you watch me in general. I appreciate you stopping by. You take care, all right?
All right, you as well.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Let me see. I'm trying to learn how to like put people back into the stage, but then they always leave before I can do it, which is a good thing because I appreciate that. But then I can't practice. You know, it fucks me up. All right, let me pull the next person in here. I just want to get this.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up? What's going on? What do you got for me today?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what's going on? What you got for me today?
So, you may or may not have seen the comment I left on your Primal video.
I don't know. What did
What
was it? What was it?
It was the one explaining. So you
So wait, hold on. Was it the one explaining like the Viking god of vengeance or some shit?
Yes.
100% saw that. I liked it. I should have pinned
All
it.
right. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
more
100%.
sense
No,
to you
it
now?
completely satisfies the entire story for me. Like that was perfect. Like I thought that it like somehow propped the characters up to be like these, but you know what? I should go pin that comment, honestly. Like that's like the context that made the show even better for me. Because like that makes a lot of sense. It just wasn't explicit, so I didn't understand it. But that show isn't usually explicit. It's very like indirect, and that's what I like about the show. So yeah, no, I appreciated that comment a lot.
All right. Next question.
I derailed your whole thing right there, didn't I?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, see?
So, I wanted to ask you, and this is something I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I believe that one of the biggest problems that America, just as a country, is facing is just general divisiveness. It's less of, I disagree, therefore we can, talk this out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of, I disagree, so I'm going to go against everything you say because of X, because of Y,
sure.
because of Z.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, do you have any thoughts on that, or like just...
I mean, that is how it is, yeah. I think a lot of people look at every issue in this... Okay, there's a lot. People look at every single issue that's going on in a way where it's like the most important thing to them in the entire world. Like, and they look at the other side as evil in every situation. And they don't think that people come from like a reasonable, like charitable perspective. I think that most people aren't trying to be fucking dickheads when they have a particular thought about a particular thing. Like, for instance, I'm pro-choice. most pro-lifers I've ever talked to, they genuinely think that it's a baby inside the womb. So like they're not trying to restrict women's ability to do what, like, have rights. They just feel like that's a baby. And a lot of people, I think, will look at it as like, you're taking away my rights, which is true. Like a lot of women are how it's reducing their ability to have a choice. But like the conservative person isn't trying to do that. They're really just like, oh, I think that's a human being, and I believe in like a soul, and I believe in God, and I think that you're killing something and whatnot. So I think that's a huge part of it, where people assume the worst perspective and like the worst case scenario when it comes to a lot of these topics.
All right. My final thing, since you've watched up to part 64 of the Christian documentary,
okay,
would you consider yourself a certified Christorian?
I don't think so. I really enjoy the documentary and it's interesting. I would say that I don't think I'm certified. You know what I mean? But I'm educated on it. I'm very educated on it, but I certainly am not certified. I don't think I can say that. That's too much. That's stolen valor from Geno Samuels.
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor, yeah. That's stolen valor.
All right, Wen. Well, keep up the good content. Love your vids.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Auf Wiedersehen, Vater Bausch.
Very good. Thank you very much. Take care, man.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Peace out. Auf Wiedersehen. Hey, I got it. I figured it out. I figured out how to kick him out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see. Next. Hello? Oh, he's not even in here. I'll give him a second. Hey, what's up?
All right. Hi.
How's it going?
I haven't done anything like this. I'm a little bit nervous, but
yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, I'm a person who made the second channel profile picture.
Oh, it took me like 2 seconds to like. You're talking about like the lightning one, like the cool lightning picture.
Bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
appreciate that.
What's his name? I forgot his name. Never mind. Yeah, I've been watching for a little bit.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Followed you on TikTok.
Nice. The good old
I
days.
just wanted to say your stuff is pretty cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, you can let the next person hop on.
Oh, okay. Are you sure you don't have any other question?
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. All right. You take care.
You too.
Peace. All right. That's cool. That's cool. It's quick. It's all good. Appreciate that always. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up?
How's it going, Papa?
Not too bad. How's it going with you?
Watching your content for a while, man. That's really W content, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So, first thing I want to talk about is I've been hearing you say like you've been banned from TikTok.
Yeah, I said that once or twice.
I don't know specifically for what.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you trolling or are you?
I really don't. I swear I don't know. I've been watching your content for about 3 months, and I don't really know. I've been kind of vague about that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's hard to like dive into it. So like I had a period. It's like weird because like looking back at it, like there's times where I feel like I'm like too hard on myself. But basically, what it boils down to is like after like the Trump loss, like I kind of went back to making more humorous, fun content, and like I went a little edgy with some of the jokes, and they were mostly well received. Until I got to this point where like two things happened. One, there were some people who were like they didn't like my jokes so much that they would like constantly take me out of context. And then two, I ended up making like insensitive takes, partially for fucking, for like views. You know what I mean? Like, and unfortunately, to like keep myself in like the main ring, I guess. Like I talk about the old enough to bleed video where, like I made the joke calling out.
I think I remember that you saying something like that.
Yeah, I was calling out like a potential predator, somebody who allegedly slept with like a kid, and like people who knew, they knew what I meant, and a lot of them, well, some of them didn't, but like a lot of the bigger ones knew what I meant, and they took that out of context intentionally to kind of like fuck you, Papa Guy, because they didn't like me. So there's a lot there. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and I think I've done a much better job of like learning to reel my content, and so it's fine because I focus on YouTube a lot, and I'm actually more successful on YouTube, consistently successful on YouTube than I was ever on TikTok. So it is what it is. That's basically the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It is
Are
what
you
it is.
wondering? Are you thinking about like changing up your content? Like, I don't know, like making videos.
What do you mean?
Like smaller, like 10, 15-minute videos talking about a specific thing?
I don't really have any plans to change my
No?
content in any significant way. No, I did I have like a secondary channel where I put like some stuff up on there that's like a little bit different, I guess you would say.
Oh, okay.
But I've had no like intention of like changing in any drastic capacity like at all. If anything, I don't know if you know about my secondary like leftovers channel. I don't know if that's something that you're aware of.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I used to put like a lot of stuff on like that secondary leftovers channel, and that was where I would put different things obviously on there. But I'm probably gonna merge my content back into like one thing like I used to do.
Okay.
So like there are shorter videos that are like 15 minutes or so on there. And I'm probably gonna merge it back and like kind of like have one channel. For a long time recently, I made that channel so that I could like focus more on like main channel, secondary channel kind of a content. And you know, it went from like, oh, some extra fun videos that people really like me that could see, where they were like 1 minute bits of like me doing like reviewing like a TikTok or some bullshit, to like really serious stuff. Like lately my main channel's all been like all serious shit, and like it hasn't been.
Yeah, I've been seeing. Yeah,
there's nothing. It's not fun anymore. Basically, it's been all.
I think it's interesting though, dude.
It's all serious. Well, the thing is like I don't like that it's all been serious. Like that's something that I'm not a particular fan of, and so I want to kind of reel that in and make it a little bit like less serious, like it used to be. And so like I'm gonna start posting like everything again. I used to just like do commentary, like react content on stuff, and like there were times where I talk about serious topics, but for the most part it was just me like having fun and like doing whatever. And like now it's got super pressured and like it's a fucking pain in the ass. So I'm gonna be doing more like less serious. And there's gonna end up being like you were saying, like 15-minute segments on the main channels anyway at some point like soonish. So
okay. Has that serious videos gotten you more views than the funny little videos that you do?
I guess so. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I had like a really good period where like the Manosphere shit was blowing up, and like, you know, like Sneeko, and then there was like the Death Noodles thing.
Yeah.
And I had like a month or so.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, I had like a month or so where like I was getting like really good views on like the main channel. But like it's one of those things where after you're out of that period, it's the ups and downs of being a content creator. Like there's like, you know, you can't just keep talking about it. So like inevitably it's gonna end up falling off anyway. So like it's whatever. I want to focus less on the views and to care a little less about that. I feel like I haven't been coming off as like authentic as I used to come off to some people. I haven't been as happy making some of the content that I've been doing, which is like really bad because it makes me not want to stream. It makes me not want to make content. It makes me like stress. Like what's the next video I want to do? I'm kind of tired of caring. And I'm at this point, I'm like, okay, if I fail as a content creator and can't make this a living anymore, then like so be it. I'll go get a fucking real job. But frankly, it's probably not going to happen like that. Like I'm gonna be fine. So I'm just gonna go back to making like doing whatever I'm doing and like just streaming, being a little more authentic. And then like, you know, whatever happens. And I'm sure it'll go fine.
Well, I think you're pretty authentic, man. I think you give a very unbiased viewpoint on a lot of things, and I like unbiasedness. That's why I really stopped watching Hassan.
Oh yeah,
H3H3. You know, I was a fan of Hassan, but like after, because I've been watching Abba and Preach too with the whole.
I like Abba and Preach. Yeah,
I love Abba and Preach too. There was one specific video they made about the trans sports.
Mm-hmm.
And
the one that Hassan was like virtue signaled over. That's what it felt like it was.
Crazy. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. I like Abba Preach. They're pretty chill.
Yeah.
You know, I think the biggest part of like what happens is that like I think Big Downfall is becoming part of an online community. Honestly, I know that sounds silly, but truly speaking, I think that when people start becoming like part of an online community, like Hassan's part of like the Twitch bro community. I feel like that's when shit starts going downhill because you start to your takes start to get a little bit diluted because you feel the need to like maintain a performance in different capacities or be like friends with this person and not be friends with this person, and it becomes like a whole issue. And like actually I feel like I've been getting a little bit too like I've been disconnecting myself in general just just so that I can like take a deep breath and becoming like get back to like I don't want like my perspective to be diluted, and I feel like it might be getting diluted a little bit lately. So you know, that's my
Also, how do you think it's been doing?
I don't know. It's just weird. I feel like I'm too focused on what some people think on Twitter, and it's making me like stress out and like be almost in some instances possibly like afraid to post like a genuine take. It's weird. It's hard to say. I can't really like quantify it like or be specific about it because it's not something that like I can't be. It's hard for me to be specific about it because I can't reference a specific example. I know it sounds weird, but it's like one of those things where it's just like that's how it feels. So I guess I could be wrong in the way I feel, but like I'm happier taking a step back and going back to like less serious content and like having a little bit more fun and like focusing less on trying to get views and more just like making my content. Because a lot of people, even like I noticed that like some of my like best videos are videos that don't get a lot of views, but like people enjoy the take on it. Like my really hardcore fans like are like, I really like this video. I feel like I want to be. That matters to me more than anything else. I think I'm trying to like prioritize that. Like not worrying about virality and worrying more about like my followers who like really like me and my content. So
yeah,
so that's.
What do you think about the? Do you think about the YouTube and Twitch streaming platforms and stuff like that? I mean, a lot of Twitch streamers are thinking about leaving to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's funny because somebody popped in here and asked me like advice on like content creation, and I brought it up a little bit. If I personally don't know if I'm going to stream on YouTube, maybe I will. If I do, it's going to be dual streaming from Twitch, even though I'm technically in a contract with Twitch where like I'm not allowed to dual stream or I'll lose my partnership or whatever. Just for like, it makes it better for like, more outreach and whatnot. Like realistically, YouTube is just better. There's better if we go through the algorithm. They're making better monetization practices. Twitch is outdated. It is what I just don't care because I don't like the stream is more to like connect with people that like fans that show up and like I like them and everything more than it's about like more than anything else. Like, so I don't really care, but like I mean like Twitch is getting their ass kicked. I think that Twitch was probably taking like a lot of losses financially from like paying people at least the top tier streamers as much as they were, and like that's why they're cutting the amount that they're paying them down pretty significantly, and it is what it is for them. That's unfortunate, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think YouTube's like time is taken at this point. Their clock is ticking. They're not gonna last, to be honest with you. So that's life, I guess.
I don't think of what else to talk about.
If you don't have any other questions, it's okay. It's okay. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty much done. Yeah, it was nice talking to you, man. Seriously.
Yeah. I appreciate.
Keep up with the W content, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you stopping by. You take care.
No
right?
problem. Okay, you too, man.
Peace. All right. Next one up. Did I click it? Oh, I did. Okay. I'll give him a second. Give him a second to pop in here. Give him a memento. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Not too bad.
Sorry, hold 1 second. I can't really hear you.
Okay.
I'm trying to put you on speaker.
Okay. Let me know when you're all set.
Okay. Oh, God. Hello?
Hello?
Did that just make me louder, or?
I think you're good. You're fine.
Oh, darn.
You are okay.
Oh, let's figure out. There we go.
All set?
Boom.
All right.
Sorry, I'm a boomer. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So what's up? What you got for me today?
Nothing much. I had a few things I wanted to talk to you about since I saw you were doing this. I am a little nervous.
Yeah, no worries. Don't be. Don't stress. No worries. No worries. So what's up? What you got?
The first thing I guess I'll talk to you about is, do you think you'll start putting more content on your gaming channel?
Oh, probably not, honestly. Like
it's been pretty dead.
It's been what?
It's been pretty dead. I haven't, at least the last time I looked, I was
know. It's pretty much is dead at this point. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I got to take some of those channels like down so people don't like think I have. I know that sounds like shitty, but my thing is that when it comes to like the gaming stuff, like I don't have like the super passion to like keep it up to pace for people. And so like I like playing games, but I mostly play games while I do content. So like I don't really have like like a need for like a gaming channel necessarily. I might put some more gaming stuff like when God of War comes out. When that comes out, the next one, I'll probably play more gaming. But I'll probably post that on maybe like the VOD on my secondary, like my leftovers channel. I'm making a little bit of a content transition, so I'll probably put some of that stuff on there. If you don't catch the live like VOD of it, because I'm not gonna do content while I play that because I like the story of it, and I haven't obviously played it before because it hasn't been out yet. So I'll put it on there. I don't know if you follow the leftovers channel. That might be a decent place to follow for that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. But yeah, I don't do a whole lot of gaming stuff. I know people like it. It's one of those things where like I enjoy games. I just don't enjoy just playing games while I'm like streaming, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I know me personally, like I also have ADHD, and I will, how do I say this? Like I'm the one who's been spamming, like when are you gonna play Breath of the Wild?
Oh yeah,
That's been me, and you're like, I don't know how to set it up, man.
I don't. I have to ask my brother-in-law. He's better than me with that. I have to get like a capture card and stuff. There's so much I have to do, which I think I want to do in general because even with my PlayStation, for some reason I can't play some of the games through the remote play on the PlayStation. I want to play like God of War 1 and 2, but the classic games you can't do. It's ridiculous to me. I'm actually more boomer-esque than anything else.
So it's not just like a Switch issue or Switch games. Is Breath of the Wild on other?
No, it's a PlayStation, or excuse me, it's a Nintendo exclusive. Yeah, no, it's not on anything else.
Gotcha.
I know that they're releasing like a new Breath of the Wild, right? At some point.
I think so. I heard that my friend was talking about that recently, but I haven't looked into it yet. But yeah, mostly I was like, oh, it'd be cool to see Papa Gut's reaction to like these monsters and all of these like crazy things in this world. It's pretty fun, but what I'll do is I'll play for like 2 weeks doing nothing else but just playing Breath of the Wild, and then I won't play games for like 3 or 4 months. And then I'll just get sucked in for like 2.
Oh yeah, well that's how it is. That's how I am with this fucking game. Is like you'll get obsessed with it for a while, and then you'll let it go, and then you'll go back and you'll go, yeah. It looks like a really good game. I'm getting more into like the more openish world type games, and games are gravitating towards that. Like even the God of War, I was playing God of War on stream before, like the newer one. I guess the newest one technically. And it's very like open worldy, like kind of more than usual. I'm usually a very linear game type of guy. Like I'm not really big into like the exploration, which I know a lot of people like that, but it's just like not my.
Yeah, and Breath of the Wild is very like open world. You can kind of go wherever you want and like explore. So
yeah, it's weird for me because I need structure, like
yeah,
I need the game to tell me what to do. But I'll probably take a look at that eventually.
Okay, and have you heard of the game? By the way, I've never played God of War. I watched your videos on it, and like the story seems interesting.
Yeah, I like the story a lot. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll play it, but it seems interesting. And then I think there's something called Elden Ring that people play.
Yeah, they do play that.
I've watched a ton of videos on that as well, and it looks awesome. I'm scared. The monsters, even in like, it's dumb, but even in Breath of the Wild, I get scared sometimes. So.
I played Elden Ring on the PC. I actually bought it on there, but like I haven't like played it too much. I kind of just let it go after that. Honestly, if I was gonna play Elden Ring, I'd probably just buy it on the PlayStation and play it on there because I would prefer it that way. Because I have the PS5 now, so I'd probably just buy it on that and play it there. Honestly.
He's got the PS5, you guys, big ballin' over here.
I know. Hey, that's my privilege as a fucking content creator to be able to get like dumb shit like that.
No, I'm surprised you got one because whenever I look, they're always sold out.
Yeah, they had like a bunch of them come in at GameStop. I went over there and I said, "Hey, do you have PlayStation 5?" They said no. They said, "But we're getting one like Friday." So I came in like the next week and I was able to buy one. But it's crazy. You don't just buy a PlayStation. Honestly, you have to buy like you have to buy so much shit with it. It's crazy. They make you buy They make you buy a lot. They made me buy in the bundle with GameStop, because it's so in demand. You have to buy the PlayStation, and then you have to buy like a game with it, and then you have to buy a $75 gift card, and you have to get a warranty for the PlayStation, and then you also have to get a GameStop subscription to their thing. So
Oh, that's doing too much. Also, why don't they just? I don't get why they are only selling them in short amount. Like, I know there's a lot of demand, but they sell like 5 at a time. I really don't. I don't understand.
I think it was like an issue with like being like the accessibility of it. Like, I think it had a lot to do with COVID, honestly, where a lot of computer parts were very difficult to come by, and we're kind of still in that space, because I know that it's not ideal for them, because they're still making games for the PlayStation 4. Like, I could have gotten God of War for the PS4. I just wanted the PS5. I wanted an excuse to waste my fucking money. That's really what it was. I just wanted it. So ideally they probably would have more of them if there was more available, but I guess it has like to do with computer parts. So they're just like whatever at this point. But it's in high demand. I think people want it. That's why they're always sold out once they come into play.
That's true. And I guess if you wouldn't mind, I guess talking about like kind of serious-ish things.
Sure.
Too. But I wanted to know, because I've been watching your content lately, and I noticed like one reason I want to is because I feel like you're very genuine and you do your best to look at things from all points of views and to be nuanced.
Oh, thank you.
But to also have consideration for what's like really important. Even with the recent like crazy Twitch stuff that's going on, or just anything. It's not even just that. Like that one, I feel it would be hard to talk about if you're kind of a well-known creator, because even if you try to give a little bit of nuance, it seems like everyone's gonna bad faith whatever you say.
With the newest situation that's been going on, it's really unfortunate, but like the primary focus isn't actually what happened. It's a lot of these Twitch streamers just shitting on each other through these different takes, and there's not a single person that I've seen that's actually sat down and been like more reasonable about the topic than anything else. It's something that like I don't even want to talk about it right now. Like the specifics on it, it's fucking insane. There's so much politics going on with it, and like right now,
lots of politics, and I feel like it could actually be handled in a lot better way behind the scenes, but now it feels like it's too late for that.
Well, yeah, I've watched a lot. I've pulled the content down because I really just am not interested in talking about it, because I just feel like it's so intense. But like I've watched so much on it, and I think I've watched like 5 hours worth of content on this stuff, maybe more than that.
Same. I've been watching, like I said, your stream. I watch Destiny a lot because even though he's edgy, I feel like he's also tries his best to be genuine.
Yeah.
You know.
But pretty much everybody talking about it, or like the people involved in it, like Trainwrecks, Hassan, XUC, all of them are at Miskif. They're all just venting out personal grievances. 99% of every topic is always about how they hate each other because they feel like they virtue signal in ABCDXYZY, and it makes it like super like ingenuine.
And they'll talk past each other. Like I don't even think, like, say they admitted like, yeah, this isn't really about Adriana. I feel like when they try to talk, because they're partially virtue signaling, plus they have their grudges, they just talk right past each other.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really ridiculous. And I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna stop watching this because I feel like this is poisoning my brain, and it's not productive.
No, not at all. It's not productive.
Y'all need to deal with your stuff.
That's fucking for sure. That's
talk to her
for sure.
Personally. Like people were saying, like the Trainwrecks guy is a bad guy. I personally felt like he used it as a gotcha, but I genuinely don't think he sees it that way. Like I don't think he's a bad person.
I don't think he does either. Because they're talking about, well, we needed to release it at this time because like I would have had the most impact, and it's like I don't know if that's necessarily true. I feel like you could have talked about this at any point, and the people would have talked about it. I think that they're like I think the most fucked up part about it is I don't think any of them. I don't think that he's being dishonest. I think that he actually thinks that he wasn't using it as a gotcha, even though I think that it was. And that's probably the bigger problem, is like how immature a lot of these people are that are involved in this, where they
very immature.
It's very it's insane. Like when I watched Hassan and XUC talk about this, if they were on like a half an hour or an hour talking about how XQC didn't show up to like a creator event, and I'm like, wow, this is like super childish. Like, why the fuck are we talking? Oh, well, it's really fucked up. You know, my friend, my friend's like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
This isn't important at all. What we're talking about.
How
right
is this related?
Yeah, no, honestly, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's
and everybody's digging up, you know, things that probably have happened in their community that have nothing to do with this. And I'm just like, this is weird. It's a lot of people are saying, oh, this is what happens when you give like adult children like
yes, yes, 100%.
And I do think that's kind of what it is. 'Cause a lot of the stuff that we're even talking about with it feels like stuff that's happened in high school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And people handled it in a certain way because they were dumb kids in high school. But they're adults.
Yeah, no, it's you think that they're fucking adults, but they're like man children. It's crazy, or like adult children. Yeah, no, it's pathetic, honestly, the way that everything's getting talked about. They should be embarrassed, but they're not. That's the fucking problem.
They'll figure it out, hopefully. I think the best thing for everyone to do, like with most things, is to like just disengage from it.
Yeah, it's too crazy.
Similar with like the Deaf Noodle situation. I was like, y'all, we should just probably, if you hate him so much, just stop watching him. But
yeah,
it feels like a lot of people don't even know why they don't like him. They just like, oh, he's not funny and all these things. Like, no, he leveraged his platform, or tried to, against a smaller creator and was really dishonest. Like, that's where this kind of started.
It's
now
become a meme now. It's all become
now
like
it's a meme, and it feels kind of. I don't care for him, but it feels gross.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. Like I've disengaged from it too. It's just stupid at this point. Like, you know, the whole thing is like fucking insane. People are like just going fucking ballistic about it.
Like, we aren't acting any better. In my opinion.
No, people are just going fucking nuts in like the opposite direction. It's and a lot of it's just content for a lot of people. They don't really care like what actually is happening. They think it's like funny and whatever. But that's the unfortunate nature of it, isn't it? You know.
And I think that was one of my main reasons for coming on, is because I was going to ask you, at least especially from like what I've seen in your comment section sometimes, is do you think it is possible for kind of online culture to even itself out and for people to stop going just doing these mobs, right? Where it's almost like we want people to kill themselves.
I mean, it's kind of true. Yeah, for sure. I know exactly what you're saying. I don't. Do you think it's possible to stop it? I mean, I hope so. I mean, honestly, I hope so. A lot of this happens in pockets of like a very toxic, like community of people that are like hungry for content, and then they sensationalize stuff. A lot of times without even realizing it, they will sensationalize information.
Yeah, it feels like the intention is, or at least it starts out as very good, and then it just spirals into everyone kind of, you know, people use the term like cry bullying.
Yeah, well, that's a good representation of what's happening sometimes, you know.
And then I'm like, and I'll comment sometimes. I've been getting terminally online myself, if you can tell. But
it happens. You don't even realize it, but it happens. It's fucking crazy.
It happens. I used to never comment on videos. What is this? Who comment?
I know.
You know? I'm gonna get like canceled in 20 years because I said people were being like really irreasonable about things, and like people would be like, "Oh no, you're just trying to like cover up or something for this person." And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's all those say nowadays. It's fucking pathetic, but some of these people will like fucking if you don't have the same perspective, then you're actually like a predator now. Like that's
and I'm like, no, we just have different opinions. And also, no offense, I'm 26. I'm not that old. But I've worked jobs. I lived in the real world. I used to tell people to touch grass, and now I need to touch grass. But I feel like in most situations, people are typically not bad, and people make mistakes. I feel like nowadays, no one's allowed to make a mistake. You're automatically a person.
100%. Yeah, that's like a big problem too.
And with you being a content creator, I just I wonder if you, feel like there's anything you can do about that with your platform. And if you think that it will level itself out eventually, because a lot of it is a reaction to behaviors in the past that were never addressed, that led to people being exploited and taken advantage of. So just like some things in politics, now people are kind of over prescribing and going like way over the line. But most of the time, those things will level out. And if you think that with online culture, it will level itself out, or if this is just how it is now.
Well, I certainly hope so. Honestly, I hope it does level itself out. I think that the way that it'll happen, like for instance, for me, like I'm kind of going to like a direction where like I kind of disconnect from a lot of people and try not to be so terminally online anymore. And like, you know, I guess it depends on like if people gravitate towards those content creators that act that way would be the only way for it to happen. But like a lot of ridiculous, inappropriate behavior is perfectly acceptable on the internet for whatever reason. It's fucking crazy. And so like maybe once that becomes less appropriate on the internet, I think maybe things will change in some capacity. We can only hope, you know. That's like the best hope that I can really say is like things shift in a better direction where this kind of shit like becomes less appropriate. And then people realize it because people are really just trying to emulate like whatever they can. A lot of people are just emulating other people to try to you know, be successful or make as much money as possible. There's a lot of like disingenuous nature. So that's the only thing you can really hope for.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I really like your content.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you're doing a really good job. And even when I see a lot of the comments, or at least on YouTube, they will be like, you know, Papa, you missed the mark, or you dropped the ball with this one.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, where? I don't, like, there are a few times where I'm like, yeah, I don't really agree with that, but that's, I see why
for
you
sure.
have that opinion.
Yeah.
But
no,
most of
lately
the time,
it's a little crazy. I feel like so. That's one of the things where I have to like get like a terminal. Like I feel like there are instances lately where I'm caring too much about what like the comments will say because a lot of times I'll get like negative reception in the comments, but like I'll have like a really like 95% of the people like the video. So it's like, okay, what's different? It's just like a vocal minority of people are complaining about it and like they're trying to make it seem like this is the worst thing in the world. So I'm just trying to like that's what I mean when I like disconnecting from that kind of stuff. Like just like caring less about what some people say and whatnot, and like getting off of Twitter was part of that. Like taking a break from some of the shit. So
yeah, but I could understand wanting to check the comments to be like, you know, was I wrong? Did I maybe not think about this?
See what people have to say. It's just hard to distinguish
But it's
like
so-
reasonable criticism from like a bunch of fucking people going crazy. You know, that's the biggest issue with it.
Yeah, it's so trash now that I'm just like, if I was a creator, I would only really, I guess, trust people in my inner circle who knew me before streaming, and I feel are pretty level-headed, because the comments, there's just nothing.
Sometimes they're a little bit fucking crazy. That's all. Yeah, I've been trying to do this. Like, I'm trying to listen to my wife more about shit lately. Like, just like get her opinion on how she feels about a particular thing. Because she's not. That's one of the things. Like, you know, she isn't terminally online. You know, and that's how I'll be like, oh shit.
She doesn't feel like a yes man either. It feels like she really tries to be compassionate and cares about your best interest, you know. And if like she feels like you were kind of wrong or you didn't consider a certain factor, she's like, "Hey."
All the
at least
time.
that's what it seems.
Oh, absolutely. Like yesterday, we were driving to like the mall together, and she's like, "You know, I saw this video on this your leftovers channel, and I didn't like this, that." And we had like a conversation about it. That's how a lot of our content goes, especially when I talk about like actually stuff that's a little more important than like, you know, who farted the loudest yesterday, which is some of this fucking ridiculous fucking some of the drama is like that, and she'll give an opinion on it. That's how it happens all the time. She keeps me grounded out of like fucking. She keeps me grounded outside of like the terminally online behavior and bullshit, because that's like the fucking worst.
Yeah. I'm starting to take. Do I need to get off now?
If you want one more thing to say, you can go ahead and say it. No worries.
Oh, I was gonna ask. When it comes to, I don't how is it? Because you don't want to control or police what people say, of course, and especially not survivors. But I know you've mentioned like when you see TikToks of people, I see this all the time too, of people making videos about rape and essay,
like their own personal like experience with it. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. And and I'm not gonna go into detail, but like I've dealt with some of these things personally too, like as an adult, as a child, and I just don't feel the need to do that. It's definitely like a person maybe who's, I won't say you ever fully healed. Like, I handle things in a complicated way. Like, I don't know if you ever heard Destiny be like, like, I'm a little bit different. I handle things in a little bit different way. If I feel like I have like my freedom and control over my circumstances and like bodily autonomy, I'm okay. like I can deal with anything. So I know that not everyone is like that, and these things like plague people every day. But I feel like the internet is not the best place.
Yeah, you know, no, it's like vented out. I think that what's going to end up happening is you're going to see like a really big like influx of people, probably more girls than anything else. Like 5 years from now, regret posting a lot of the stuff about sexual assault. And I think it's going to become part of like their traumatic experience. Honestly, I think that's what's going to end up happening. I mean, it's they can do whatever they want with like their experience, but if somebody's out there and they have an experience, I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm saying like maybe don't talk about it on the internet in this kind of way, because it might make you feel like kind of fucked up in the future.
Or making dance videos with it.
Yeah,
like
not really.
Making jokes about it or skits about it. I just don't see how it's productive.
I get the idea of like trying to like take control of it and like make a joke out of it to like cope in some way. I totally get that. I just I think it's a fine line. It's a fine line. It depends on how people are going to react. Like if you're not going to feel fucked up about it, you turning it into a trend, then like it's fine. But
it's just like it took a big swing, like everything else, where it's like, oh, we can never talk about these things, or we could never.
It's like overcorrecting.
But it's like doing the complete opposite. You're making it like it's I don't know, like it's like, oh, here's the weather kind of thing, or like making a skit. It feels weird, and I don't think it's healthy.
No, I don't think
at all.
Really. Well, like I was saying, it's like overcorrecting. Like people, we've gone like don't talk about it at all to like talk about it. Even like it's like you should talk about it if you want to, but sometimes it's like now it's trendy to talk about, and as time goes on, people are going to they're going to get to a spot where it's just going to it's just like when they get older, they're going to be embarrassed. A lot of people, I think. And like, it's tough. If you don't want like your friends and family to know about this experience that you had, like telling the internet's probably not a good idea, especially.
Right. Because that was a big thing to me too. I was like, I don't like my family doesn't really know about any of that, those things that happen. And I maybe have a few intimate people who know those details, like a partner, but like, and therapists, but I don't really need everyone online to know that. So I just don't, I just don't see how it's productive. And I hope that those people end up okay after this, but it almost seems like everyone's trauma is becoming like, it's becoming them, like it's their personality trait, it's their like new label if they don't have any other thing that they like identify with. And like, I don't want that to be my label. It's a thing that happened.
Yeah,
but it's not me.
I think it's so unfortunate because it's like trendy to like have trauma now, and like people have real trauma and then they use it like as a trend, and I feel like they don't know what's going to happen in the future, and like realize that can kind of fuck you up personally a little bit more than people are obsessed with like TikTok views and stuff. It's like really unfortunate part of it, I think, is a bit like an aspect of it. And that's kind of how it manifests itself, unfortunately, where like some people, and again, if they want to talk about that's their prerogative, but I think it could have like the long-term negative impact of like really making people feel fucked up.
Yeah. Well, thank you. This was a good chat. Thank you for letting me take up a bunch of your time.
Yeah, no problem.
So happy I got to talk to you, and I love your content. Like I said, I watch you almost every day.
I appreciate that.
I hope you have a good day.
All right, you too. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Peace. People in there. Got a couple people in here. Hello?
Hello?
What's up, brother?
Hey, Papa.
How are you today?
I'm great today. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm happy that you're doing great, man. what do you got for me?
Day off of work, so I'm doing good.
So that's always good. That's always excellent, yeah.
I just want to say I've been watching you for quite a fucking long time.
All right, I appreciate that.
I don't know what words I can use on here, but
yeah, no slurs, but it's okay if you say like fuck.
Okay. So it's been fun. Point being, it's been fun to watch you kind of progress, go through your TikTok phase, and now you're just kind of doing your thing,
Yes, sir.
So congrats on that. And I also want to just say you do a pretty damn good job because you bring people in like me, you bring people in from all political ideal, like different backgrounds, whatever, and like everyone like enjoys listening to you. Sometimes I'll disagree with something you say and other people might disagree, but like the community that you've built around yourself is a good one. So good job with that shit.
I appreciate that. It does mean a lot to me. It really does.
But besides that, I guess, so it's kind of an off topic. It's not been talked much about recently because it's not been in the news, and that's just how we work.
Yeah,
but what's
true.
you don't have to dive into it, but what's just kind of your overview of law enforcement in America? What when I say that, what instantly do you think?
Overview of law enforcement in America. Interesting. Very vague. I think that like I saw
it is vague, but I was just wondering, like, you hear that, what do you think? Do you think racism? Do you think community
Bro,
policing? Do you think
you know what it is? The first thing I think of before racism and everything is like we have a weird culture in America when it comes to our police officers where it's perfectly acceptable for them to be like total dickheads and like really annoying. I don't know. I've had experiences with cops where like they've been like chill, and then I've had experience with cops, especially when I get pulled over, where they're like real pieces of shit. Like it's weird, and like I understand that like I did something like I was speeding or something like that, but like they're very rude and it's kind of annoying. I think that I know that that's like not the tip of the iceberg. Obviously, my experience with like police, I'm a white person, so I haven't like had any like horrible negative experience. But I've had experience with like real dickhead cops where like one time some cop was going like 80 miles an hour down the road at like 3 in the morning, and I drove the same speed, and like I thought we were racing. And he was off duty cop, and he came to my house and he went on duty, and he's like, I'm giving you a ticket, blah blah blah, even though like you actually can't do that. So like I think that biggest problem with cops is the fact that they think that they're our fucking boss. I think that's a huge issue with boss, rather than like understand that they're the boss. They're not the boss of anything. They're just there to enforce the rules. They don't have to be pieces of shit. I obviously also think that we need like better monitoring of police officers, like body cams and whatnot. But that's the first thing I think is that like our culture like loves police too much. But I don't think we should overcorrect to a point where we hate police too much. That would be stupid. Most cops are just doing their job. They're being decent. I understand that they're just people too.
I guess I agree with like a little bit of that, but I wouldn't say our culture as a whole loves police too much, especially in this day and age. I mean, you go to small town, rural, wherever, yes, it's going to be a lot of support or police, blah 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 blah. But I would say that general narrative is kind of fuck the police right now.
Yeah, I think online it's a lot of fuck the police right now. Like in like
that's true.
And I think again that's overcorrecting a little bit. To the point where you'll see videos where like somebody will do something explicitly wrong, and then all of a sudden it's like no, that person's not actually they're actually okay. They're in the right. They did it. It's like, oh, holy fuck. It's a little bit crazy online narrative, but I guess that's life, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and it's such a there's so many variables to the topic, and there's so many variables to the job, and there's so many variables to people watching from the outside. Like some shit might be going on for past 30 minutes that they've been dealing with. Someone starts filming, and then it catches just 5 minutes, or the cops. Yeah, it just on both sides. It's just so fucky.
Yeah, like a lack
that
of like,
unless you actually like
representation of like what's going on.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I guess with your point with like cops being assholes, I would agree with that. Like it's in the title is protect and serve, so you're there to protect and then also serve the public to their needs. I think law enforcement unfortunately brings in a lot of egotistical people.
Oh yeah.
That just kind of like
sure.
just like not trying to rap on it or anything, but like even people in the military, whatever, like a little bit more macho, whatever. Kind of you get that gun on your hip,
Yeah, you start feeling some type of way, You start feeling like some certain type of way. You're like, yeah, you know what? And just get like a little fucking ballsy. Absolutely.
No, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but like at the same time, I guess I don't want to disclose too much, but I'm in law enforcement personally.
Oh shit. You are,
and
you are in law enforcement?
Yep.
Right. All right.
So like, I got some fuzzy cuffs in my bedroom. But no, so like I completely agree though. I've seen it firsthand of dudes just being like fucking over the top, and it's like, come on, like let's take it down a step. Like this is not what it needs. You're making it more than what it is, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
My biggest thing is I treat everyone on traffic stops, no matter what it is, as a person. I'll bullshit with them at their window if they're willing to for 10 minutes, just about their day or whatever. I don't care. As soon as, like, I'll show you respect out of the gate. If you start taking away that respect and being a complete dick, well, then maybe
then
I'm
you
not going to
have to
respect you as
respond.
much.
Yeah, you have to respond in kind, obviously. I understand that, like, probably a lot of cops are like, I don't know. Every time I've been like pulled over, it's always the cops always an asshole. I'm assuming that I imagine that the people that they're dealing with are probably dicks to them because they're getting pulled over. But I feel like police officers, like some police officers, don't really like. That's part of the job, unfortunately. You know, when you have like some bullshit going on, and they get like extra mad about it, and then they just kind of carry that on them with like every single next stop that goes on from that point on.
Oh yeah. Well, and when I'm working 6 days in a row, 12-hour shifts, that sixth day on your last 4 hours, you just might be over it, you know?
Yeah.
Which isn't an excuse. That is not an excuse. Just
Nah, but
because
I
you're
get
a
it.
surgeon working a 12-hour shift in surgery doesn't mean you can make mistakes. So it's not an excuse, but it's definitely a stressful, very stressful and emotionally tough, I guess you could say, job.
Oh,
Like,
if I can imagine, yeah, for sure. Like I get that. Like
But-
that's just really like a human thing. Like, you know, it's gonna be fucking. You're gonna have your bad days and where you act like kind of an asshole, and like everybody
But
has
at
them.
the
It's just high stakes. Like when you're an asshole, it's a higher stakes than like when I'm an asshole. I might piss somebody
Well,
off,
yeah.
but like, you know, like you know, it's something fucking crazy could happen.
But at the same time, I got into this job knowing that, like,
Yeah,
and
true.
other cops got into the job knowing that they're going to be held to a higher standard, and if they can't fucking handle it, well, then do something else where you can go get pissed off and
Yeah, and it won't matter. Like
not,
nobody will give a
yeah,
shit about it. Yeah.
exactly. So
True. Yeah, no,
I'm-
there's one of those expectations things. Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm pretty central, honestly. Like I'm a cop, so I have to be right leaning, like go Trump. No, I don't like Trump. Fuck him. I hate Biden too. Fuck them both. But
very true.
I'm very central. I obviously lean right a little bit on law enforcement shit, but like I most of the shit you say I agree with 90% of it, and I just for the 98 people watching, like not, I guess, just trying to put it out there that we're not all just those fucking white shaved head cop piece of shits that don't care what anyone says. Like, I'm a young guy. I fucking watch Papa Gut, and I'm in law enforcement, and I agree with most of the shit Papa Gut says, and I enjoy his content. Like, we're humans too, I guess.
Well, I appreciate that.
And humans make mistakes. Not that our mistakes should be allowed, though.
No, yeah, but like I get what you're saying. Like everybody's human, and like when you fuck up, so it's not like intentional fuck ups. I get what you mean.
It's just our fuck ups could lead to someone
being
deprived of their rights or whatever. So our fuck ups just can't be fuck ups, really.
Yeah, that's true. It's unfortunate, but you know, I definitely appreciate your service.
Again, sorry, someone asked if cops can turn body cams off when they pee.
I mean, I hope so. That seems a little intrusive.
Our body cams aren't always on. We can take them off our body when we pee, just in case they. So how it works? I'll try and get out of here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm curious now. I'm curious about
just for context for people when it comes to body cams. How it works is our body cam. When I pull someone over and I turn on my lights on my squad car, it activates my body cam instantly.
Oh, okay.
And then it pre-records, or it's always recording, but it doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. It's always recording, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be able to get that footage. So when I turn on those lights, it takes that pre-recording of a minute before.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see a minute before I turned on the lights, just with no audio.
Okay.
But then as soon as the body cam actually turns on, the video and audio starts with that minute of video before with no audio. So that's how that works.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because it's got to be fucking super intrusive if you're like chilling in the car and then you say something like dumb, but like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm a dude. I like saying stupid shit.
Yeah, maybe see a girl and maybe
I might want to call my mom on duty and talk about family shit. So,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
But then, so if I'm not pulling someone over, my lights don't activate it. The way I activate it if I'm walking up to a call is I just double click it, and it's like a big old button. You double click it and it turns on. But like 90% of departments have policies saying every single interaction you have with the public, if the department has body cams, you have to have it on and you can't turn it off.
That's how it should
until
be.
that interaction is complete.
I think that's how it should be. But when it comes to you guys, like maybe you're sitting on the car talking to like your partner or whatever, and like
Yep.
like I remember I saw like a thing where like someone was in their car with their partner, and they like made a comment about like a girl outside there, like she didn't even hear it, but it was on the body cam footage, so people had like an outrage or something. It's like, dude, like shut the fuck up, like you know what I mean? Like you can still be a person. Like you see a attractive girl, you might like be a little bit immature about it, but like it is what it is. You should be able to be a person. I thought you saying call like your mom or something. Like that shit's like just fucking normal. Call your mom or just fucking whatever. Just not do your job. That's what I do to do sometimes. Just don't do your job. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you stopping by. You take care, all right?
Yeah, I will. Thanks for the content, Papa Gut.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You watching that
I
when
hope
you're doing your police duties?
Not really.
No?
Well, because I'm actually doing my shit, Papa.
Oh yeah. Well, you couldn't admit that to me even if it was true.
No, I couldn't.
Just in case somebody.
But,
it'll be a
I will admit to falling asleep to your lovely voice after
you.
shift because I work nights. So I'll get home around 6 a.m. and I'll throw you on,
and
then I'll wake up to some fucking random YouTube video after.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hopefully, it just keeps playing my videos for that free revenue, but.
Every once in a while it does. Sometimes we'll get over into like the Hassan shit and random shit because it just kind of connects.
It's gonna fuck your whole algorithm up. You're gonna be seeing more Hassan bullshit. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I think it is. But anyways,
all right, man. You take care, all right?
Yep, you as well.
All right, peace. I'm gonna take a quick piss, really quick. Okay. Really quick piss, really quick.
You're gonna leave us with the racist chair? No.
Desperado. That song. It's the only word I know from that song.
How could you? Your chair called me awful things. Awful things.
Hello?
Yeah, your chair is over here insulting everybody. How could you?
I'm okay with that. As long as it's not
so
bad.
rude.
What is
So
going
rude.
on, lovely maggot? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Did your kid just say dad?
No. He's eating a yogurt. Are you eating a yogurt?
Okay.
Is it good?
Right.
Say hi, Papa Gut.
We'll tell him hi. So what do you got for me today?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here listening. I just unmuted to bitch at you.
Okay. All right.
You can pull the next person in.
Yeah. All right. I'll pull the next person in. Pulling them in if they answer. I think I'll do that too. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? What's up?
Does my mic sound okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, good. Got to make a good first impression with the mic.
True. So what's up? What you got for me today?
Two things. First one's a little long.
Okay.
Forgive me, I'm a little starstruck right now.
Oh, no worries. I'm not a star, so don't worry about that.
No, you are. But I just wanted to say, I'm 17 now. I'm a senior in high school. And I've been watching you on TikTok since about like 13 years old.
Really? You're 17 now? Fuck, have I been doing it this long?
I mean, it was like 8th grade, and you're making like it might have been like early 9th grade for me, but it was like when you're making like the political, not super political, but like
Yeah,
your
like the more
political.
political. Yeah, no, I remember I was making like more political content than
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And then I remember watching your stuff back then, and I was like, and it was starting to get more edgier, like it was more leading up towards your ban.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking like, this guy's getting really bad. I don't like this guy anymore.
Wow,
I hate this guy actually.
that's horrible.
And then I think you got banned then, and I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, makes sense. That like, stuff was getting really edgy.
Mhm.
But then you moved to Twitch,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Well, I was already
oh,
on
here's
Twitch at that
another.
point, but I know what you mean.
Really?
Yeah, I was on Twitch for like a year and a half, 2 years. My Twitch stuff was never really that edgy. I was on there for a long time. By the time I got banned, I think I was like a year and a half on Twitch. Yeah, I had built my
Oh
Twitch.
wow.
Yeah, I had built my Twitch and my YouTube before the ban. Quite a while before the ban, like a year and a half, 2 years before it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Well, for me, from my perspective, you had just moved to Twitch. Well, I let's say I just moved to Twitch
Okay.
in terms of watching you. And I was like, oh, here's another TikToker moving to Twitch, and they're just gonna stream Splitgate and just talk to their fans.
Splitgate, what the fuck? Sounds
Yeah,
incredible.
there's like a really bad wave of
Playing
TikTokers at the
Splitgate
time.
specifically? What the fuck?
I don't know if it was Splitgate specifically, but do you remember that one guy on TikTok who was like, if we bros and it's my birthday, you got to give me a big, wet, sloppy kiss, or else you cannot be a part of this brotherhood? Do you remember that guy?
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
Okay, well, he would make like super sus content, and then he got banned for that or something, and they kept taking down his stuff. So he moved to
That's
Twitch
weird.
and he started streaming Splitgate, and he basically fell off.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. It's easy to fall off on Twitch. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and so I thought you were gonna do that.
Mhm.
And so then I remember watching like one of your early Twitch, well, early for me because you've been streaming for a year apparently. I was watching one of your early Twitch streams, and it was just you playing World of Warcraft and
Oh
doing like
yeah.
a sub Saturday, but it was with like everybody. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, okay, this guy's gonna fall off because he's just gaming. That's
Oh
so
yeah.
boring.
I did
But
fall off.
no, you switched to commentary, and I had
I was
never
doing
heard of
commentary from the
commentary.
start too.
Really?
I did like a lot of political commentary. Yeah, I would just do like a subsat. I did like a subsat. Well, I did this once a week with everybody, basically, and then I switched off of that. Well, I didn't switch off, but I stopped doing it as much. But I've always done like commentary for like the longest time, and then I would do like a fan service stuff, like talk with fans and have conversations and stuff in a more organized capacity. Like today, I didn't plan to do this. I came on, I did a little bit of content, and then I decided to do this, which I'm happy about.
Oh wow.
But
Well,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
a big fan then. Forgive me.
No worries, no
No.
worries.
But I mean, I guess I'll say from my point of view, I
Mhm.
just got into commentary when you switched to, well, let's say like a year after you switched to Twitch, so probably my sophomore year.
Mhm.
And that was like such a curveball because I expected you to just fall off, but no, you built a really good commentary platform.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you. I've been trying to do my best, doing my thing.
Yeah, it's really something special. I think you should keep doing it for at least 30 more years.
Well, let's fucking hope. Am I right? No, that's the goal. Do it for 30
Yeah.
more years. Yeah. if only, hopefully. So I'll say, hopefully we can. That'd be fantastic. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes.
That'd be really cool. And then besides all
manifest
that, I remember you mentioned a few times when you talk about like quote unquote high value jobs. I was
Yeah.
thinking about getting into like an electrician or a plumber after I graduate, and I was wondering like what kind of education do you think I should pursue for that? Like college or like a
A
trade
trade school
school?
for sure. I mean, if there's a college, I mean, go for it. I don't really know the specifics. Anything that will allow you to like actually do that, and if you need licensing in your area, which we probably do, then like whatever allows you to go into that direction and getting a license, something like legit that'll help you out for sure. If you have colleges that do that, I didn't know they had colleges that do that.
I don't know. I was just asking.
I think it would only be trade schools. I would go to a trade school. Go to like a trade school for it. It's a really good idea. Either of those is fine. It's a little rough on your body, but like you'll make a pension. Your job's gonna be around for a long time. It's difficult to automate those jobs, so you're gonna have like job security for quite a long time. It's a great idea.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man.
That was about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by for sure.
All right. It was nice talking to you for the first time.
Yeah, nice talking to you too, man. Take care.
All right. Peace.
Peace. All right. Maybe I'll leave this thing on. Let's see. Desperado. Hello? Hello? Was it me? Can you hear me? Oh, you're mute. Oh, you're silenced. You're silenced.
Sometimes it takes them a second to realize.
Yeah. Hopefully, they accepted the thing though, so they might be doing it on purpose. I'll give them like a second. We'll see what happens. We'll see what scrappens. You know. Are you there? Are you still there? I might pop them out, and then you can re-come in
John
when
Fur
you're, when
just
you're ready.
gifted 1 subs.
Hey, thanks for the gifted sub, brother. All right, Dr. Throbber, if he's here to talk to us.
Great name.
I love
Great
it.
name.
You gotta love it. Gotta love Dr. Throbber. Hopefully he's here. Last couple people might be a bit of a bust. A little bit of a bust. You know, we'll find out though momentarily.
You've been active. You've been on for 5 hours. I didn't even get a notification.
I know. Twitch is doing me fucking dirty. That's why I'm gonna have to quit this platform, you know? To quit this terrible Twitch platform. Move on to something much more based. I don't even know what it would be. Well, YouTube, I guess I could do. I thought about it.
Nah, you could make your own website like Destiny.
I wouldn't do that. I would just steal his website. I think that's what he does. He allows people to steal his website, so that's what I would do. I just fucked up so bad. That's what I would do. All right. I think everybody just nobody's here. Nobody's doing anything. What the hell's going on here? What the frick's going on here, dude? Hello? That's all right. I might bang out in a little bit anyway. Like you said, I've been in here for 17 years, so might be time for me to do the old move on.
That person is back. The one that wasn't talking.
Hold them back in. Hello? You're still muted, by the way. Did I mute you? No. You can't hear him either, right?
No, I can't hear them at all. Just you.
That's fucked up.
Just you and your beautiful voice.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Tell me something I don't know. Just kidding.
Oh, wow. Now I take it back.
Tell me
Conceited.
something I don't know. Can you blame me though? Come on. With this beautiful voice like this, you really cannot blame me for it. You really just can't blame me. Wow, I'm gonna lose this fucking game.
No, I don't. You definitely have a radio voice. You definitely do.
It's true. I do. All right. Well, I guess it works out because I just lost my fucking game. I'm gonna fucking leave now. I gotta give up anyway. It's been a while, so.
Has Elmo or the blue guy been pulled in at all? Or were they already done? I see 4 people.
Well, that's in the audience. I'm looking at people that have requested to speak. I think the person in there right now is somebody that I've already had in here. Let's see. I'll pull them both in and see what they have to say here before I rate somebody. I'll give them.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, my microphone wasn't unmuting. Sorry. This is so
No problem. No problem. All right. What you got for me? You're the last one on the list.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I just had 2 really short questions to ask you, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm 20 and I'm a psych student, and I've learned quite a lot from psych from you, if that makes sense, because I remember you kind of taught me about the whole depression thing, where if people take medication for their depression,
yeah.
Actually, my lecturer didn't even know about that, and he was like, "Oh, thank you for telling me that," because he didn't even know about it. And I was like, "Yeah,
my wife told me about that. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Sorry. Do you get your information from Mama Gut or your own experience, or is it research, or that's what I wanted to know. Where do you get majority of your information from?
I don't know about the majority of my information. I get different information from different things. Like my wife and I will talk about like a lot of stuff, like what has to do with her work and all the time. We always talk about that. That's part of it. Sometimes I'll hear an idea and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and I'll look into it myself. So that's part of it. It really depends on what it is. A lot of the mental health stuff that I talk about, a lot of it is from like my wife. Not all of it, but a lot of it's from like my wife, and especially stuff with like people with intellectual disabilities and stuff is like from my wife.
Oh, okay. I would like to see if she would want to talk about her experience working as a behavioral specialist as well, because I kind of want insight, if that's okay. If she wanted to do that one day, it would be really interesting.
I'll ask her
Yeah.
when she's home and see what she says. She probably would like to do it, but she also hates being like on content. Like she fucking hates like the online community. So I'll see if she's open to it. She really doesn't like the online communities.
Not to interject, but she also might have like legal obligations against not talking just because of her line of work. She may have.
Yeah, well, yeah, she can't talk about specifics, but she can like talk a little bit about like, you know, in general stuff. She can do that.
Pros and cons of like, you know, the experience.
Yeah, she can
and
talk about that kind of stuff. I'm sure she wouldn't be.
And I just had one more question. Sorry, I don't want to take much of your time.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you think that cancel culture is a form of cyberbullying, or do you think it's like it's kind of a chronically online thing? You know,
I think that like, I mean, like honestly, I've never thought of it like that, but yeah, sure, probably. There's very rare instances where people actually deserve to be canceled. I do think that I think that people are, to some degree, like kind of violent at nature. Like obviously this wouldn't be traditional violence. But I think that people are like kind of like aggressive at nature, and it just gets them off. But they get to do it in a way where like they feel virtuous. I guess that would be what cry bullying is, right? Like they get to feel virtuous about what they're doing, even when like they're just being pieces of shit. And they probably have done things that are just as bad, if not worse, in their own lives. But they've either been forgiven or went under the radar, or like they've grown and they've been able to grow from it and like learn and move on. People are just pieces of shit online, and it becomes the online acceptable behavior. So
yeah, I feel like people don't want to educate people on things. It's just cancel, cancel, cancel. Don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely,
like that.
People are fucking psychotic. It's crazy.
Yeah. And just one last thing. I just wanted to thank you for everything, because I've been watching you for years, and I've also recommended you to my grandma and my mum, and they watch you religiously. So
well, that's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they love you. And I just wanted to say thank you for letting I used to be the sort of person that would just go on with other people's opinions and be like, yeah, because that like a large group of people have this certain opinion, I should have the same opinion. Now I've kind of changed that, because you've kind of taught me, you know what, just because a lot of people agree with one thing doesn't mean that you should agree with it. You know, just speak your own opinion, and who cares if you get backlash on it? It's your own opinion, right?
Yeah, that can be difficult online sometimes.
yeah, I know. But I just wanted to say thank you, because that's really helped me with debates, and it feels really surreal talking to you right now, because I just watch you a lot. So thank you, and thank you to Mama Gut.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I do.
No, it's okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you're making everyone really happy. So
thank you. Well, that feels nice. I definitely needed that, so I do appreciate that. A couple of people have expressed that sentiment today, which is nice, because I've been going through like a little bit of like a frustrating moment. So I do appreciate that. No, you guys didn't do anything. I just appreciate like the like affirming, you know, the sentiments. I really do. It means a lot to me, especially since it's like not prompted. Like I didn't say, guys, I'm having a little bit of like an existential crisis with my content, and then people are like, Papa God, I like you a lot. Like it's very genuine. So I really do appreciate that from you and everybody else who's expressed that today.
I really hope your channel grows bigger. You really, really deserve it.
I hope so. Let's hope.
So thank you so much for talking to me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and yeah.
You too. Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right.
You're so famous, Papa.
What? I am so
You're
famous.
so famous.
Yeah, big Papa Gut. All right, I'm gonna bang out of here. I know Nana. I don't know. You were in here before. I didn't know if you had something that you wanted to say really quick before I left, but you're muted. So, there you go.
No, it wasn't super. It's Nona.
But were you in here before?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, because for a second I didn't know if I just misrepresented you, and you were never here, and you're like, I never asked a question. Yeah, I didn't know if you had something like that you wanted to say before I popped out of here.
Oh no, it was just like a quick question since you are on like YouTube and Twitch.
Sure.
I have been thinking about streaming on YouTube possibly, but one of the things that I kind of wanted to do, but I might just like get on maybe like Discords and do it with people. Or me and my friends did this during COVID, but I thought about doing. Can you get banned from doing like kind of watch party things on YouTube, like streaming when you're streaming? Like watching anime, even if it's like old series.
I think on Twitch you could probably get away with it, but I don't know. Like, are you streaming to just do watch parties, or did you want to like stream to like be like potentially a content creator?
Potentially a content creator. Like what I want to do, and it kind of will go with like the name of my channel, which maybe I'll like message you. But I basically, because I didn't really grow up playing a lot of video games, I recently came into it, just like exploring video games, different types, talking about anime, putting together like cosplays, doing tutorials for people on how to do it, and like, just hanging out. But I've been watching anime since I was a kid, and so it'd be fun to like watch series or premieres, so that might be risky.
Yeah, what you would be better off doing is, because if you want to be like a content creator, is like, and I talked to somebody earlier that was asking me about content creator advice, but what you would be like the best off doing is like building your platform, obviously. And if you like watching anime, as you get some like more dedicated fans, you could probably do like some people do like a watch party through Discord once a week. They'll do like a movie Monday or something, and you stream it through Discord, and you could watch it with people and stuff like that. I don't know if you're technically like supposed to be able to do that. I don't really know, but nobody really gives a shit. And you're not like live streaming on Twitch or anything, so it shouldn't fuck with you. It's like a nice like fun little like watch party movie day, and that's what I would do. It'll be good for
most of my content is just gonna be, I guess, like saying content's kind of generous. It's really just like hanging out with people who like similar things and like putting it on YouTube or Twitch.
I hope that like that's kind of where things are moving, where people, a lot more content creators like myself, I like to think, are more we're more, I'm just like chilling, I'm just like a dude chilling on the internet. Like that's my whole thing, and I think we're gonna see more people like that, where people like to watch content through somebody else too. Especially, it's like a familiarity thing. I don't know exactly why people like doing it, but it's like watching. Like some people have sent me videos that they've watched before, and they're like, I like watching other people watch something that I've already watched to see like their first impression. Like it's, I guess, similar to how like I would watch my wife watch Game of Thrones, and that was like a new experience. So yeah, I think like chill content creators that aren't like super serious and full of themselves and in fucking Twitch clicks like Mizkiv and all that. I think that's like kind of the new way to move forward,
Yeah, and I don't really want to get big or anything. I just want to like meet people who get excited, like a club. People who get excited about cosplay and get excited about anime. So
that's the best way to do it.
They get like banned because like what?
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Just like stay genuine, have your fun, and then like probably have a higher chance of popping off at that point. Anyway, I'm gonna pop out of here. I do appreciate you guys stopping by.
Bye. Have a good one.
You take care, right? Peace.
Love you, Papa.
Love you too. Peace out on the Discord. Boop. And peace out to you guys too in on the stream. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Take care. Be respectful of this raid, etc. You know the drill. I'm gonna ban you. Love you. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.